In a world of remakes and remasters,
Are we playing your
what was once sacred and cool has now soured and become lame.
Red?
Gone are the days of pubs and cowabunga. Now is the reign of slurp juice and dabs. Kids these days don't even know how bad they've got it. Now it's up to the best generation to rise to the occasion and make a show that dares to go where a lot of other nerdy shows have already gone quite a bit. That's right. They're going to talk about it a lot.
Hello and welcome back to the show. Sorry for the delay. We were dealing with problems, but we're here. This is Best Gen, where nerds complain about nerdy things. And it's called Best Gen because we are all from the same generation. We happen to think that it's the best, not because we as people are better, but because our entertainment was. So strap in, buckle up, prepare to wax nostalgic as we reminisce upon the days of yore whilst complaining about the utter sludge of filth that's spewing from the Hollywood pipes of right
talk
now.
about nostalgia. We were talking about our best movies ever. That's freaking nostalgic as hell.
We're gonna recommend some good ones. I've got a bunch of 90s movies. 90s, well, I guess they're more like 2000s, early 2000s, late 90s. I've got a whole bunch, and some people are going to be giving their top fives. I already gave my top five, and I just have a list of good movies.
Yeah, I couldn't narrow it down to five. It was really, really tough for me.
Yeah,
and they're not in any particular order too. I just made a list of some awesome things. I can't pick favorites.
That might be the hardest, like saying which is the first one, which is the second. Like, you cannot do it.
Well, especially like cross genre, you can't.
Exactly.
Can't compare genres because if you're in the mood for a comedy, you're not gonna want to watch an action, whatever.
Exactly.
Right? So that's my top five list. I've literally like tried to curate my entire life and be like, this is my favorite that represents this genre, and I feel like it's a good spread. This is the best of the best.
Yeah, I think I should do that because it's really important. It says a lot about your personality, the kind of movies you want to watch, and I don't know. It's a great way to meet people. If you have something in common, a movie or a director or something like that, a genre in common. I don't know. I just love getting to know people that love the same thing that I do.
Yeah. It's also devastating though, especially picking the number five. You're like, oh no, but what about? Is it really? Yeah.
I was surprised.
The top four were easy for me.
Yeah, it's. I was surprised because the first ones that came to my mind were all the nerdy IPs that I love. And I just picked my favorite installment of that. Of that franchise, and then, but the more I thought about other movies, I'm like, it just pushed most of those franchise movies down because there are so many great movies.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I could easily say right now that my favorite movie of all times is Revenge of the Sith. Like, I can easily say that shit, but it's because I saw it so in such a young age. I saw that the first trilogy. I was so impressed. I was mind blown. I never seen that in Mexico, bro. Like, imagine, bro. I see donkeys and burritos walking around every day. Dumping loads on the street, literally. And
then you get to see Mustafar,
and then you get to see Jar Jar Binks.
Okay, is that what I would have gone with? I I would say you get to see Mustafar, which is ironic because you're currently living through a volcano eruption.
Dude, so insane. It's so insane. I'm going to tell you the name of the volcano right now because you're not gonna get it. It's called Popocatépetl. You can just search volcano Puebla. Is where the eruption is going on right now. We are at almost maximum level of alert. Like the next level is literally volcanic flow. And yeah, the thing is, I'm not made of BS like Galadriel, so I cannot just walk through a pyroclastic flow.
Yep,
It's
that's scary.
Popocatépetl.
Popocatépetl, yeah.
That's me, gringo, pronouncing all of the syllables.
Popocatépetl. that was cool. That was cool.
Popocatépetl.
I love. I'm a sucker
Popocatépetl.
for
Hey.
Americans pronouncing Mexican things. I just love it. Tortilla.
That was
Yeah.
for the benefit of the audience. Like I could practice it. Popocatépetl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's
I
Sasha's
can say
everywhere.
I can say Parangariku Tirimiquaro just fine. Okay. I know some tongue twisters and
Parangaricutirimícuaro. That's a hard one. Yeah, that's
It's
a hard
tough.
one. That's one of the hard one. The hardest one. But I bet you can do the tres tristes tigres tragaban trigo en un trigal.
Tres tristes tigres tragaron what is
Tragaban trigo en un
it? Trigo.
trigal.
Tragaron trigo tragaron trigo en un trigal. Yeah, that was tough.
That was good actually for just out of the top of your head.
Yeah,
That was
can you
good.
say Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers?
Peter Piper peck a pick of pepper? What?
See, it goes both ways, Mexa.
Yeah.
Here,
ooh, you got me there, you got me.
she sells seashells by the seashore.
But I know that because of
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin, so that's
Yeah.
just cheating.
Nice.
Well, we're excited to start talking about some movies. Let's get some F's in the chat for Mexa. If we don't see him next week, you know why.
Supposedly, I'm outside of the range. I'm just gonna get rain in ashes. I'm gonna become white next week, but like a pale white, like ashy white.
But I gotta apologize for last week. I had everything set up, guys. I was so ready. We spur of the moment decided to do a family vacation in California. We had been planning like for a long time to do a vacation in Washington D.C. that coincided with a business trips that my wife was going on, and because we waited too long to buy plane tickets, it became financially impossible for us to do that. And so we're like, okay, well, we got to do some kind of vacation. And spur of the moment, a lot of people, my wife's new coworkers were very nice and set her up with like a bunch of discount codes. We're like, okay, let's take the kids to Legoland. And so we just up and left.
That sounds awesome. Legoland is freaking awesome.
It's cool. Yeah, I got a nice little Legoland cup, which is
Very nice.
I'll be drinking out of this one today.
Oh no,
It's not very manly.
I can see it. Oh, nice. I can see it now. I can see it now. I was googling something and I couldn't see it. Nice. The Lego movie is a great movie.
I do. The Lego movie is really good, and I haven't seen the second one yet.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
Second one's
I
all
want to
right.
watch it.
But I really,
thank you guys.
I really enjoy the Lego movie. It's a good movie. And yeah, Legoland was fun. But California sucks.
I can concur.
I already disliked the state, but this trip just solidified how much I beautiful country, great people, horrible government, and I couldn't stand being there. It took we were taking it super slow. Like we drove to Vegas on Friday, and then stayed the night there, had some fun, and then drove the rest of the way to California. And it was supposed to be like a 5-hour drive that turned into like a 9-hour drive because California is awful and the traffic is horrible on Mother's Day. Apparently the traffic is bad on Mother's Day.
Everybody try to get to their mother.
No, they were coming from Vegas back to California on Mother's Day. It was nonsensical.
Now I gotta get back.
And even on the way back, we left early. We were planning on like coming back on like Saturday.
It's Cali.
We left early on Thursday because our kids got sick on vacation. They were throwing up, so we left on Thursday, and it was still we did it in all one go, but added like 3 hours to the trip because traffic. Horrible, godforsaken country.
Good thing I'm not moving there then.
Yeah,
Nope.
Good thing David got out, and good thing other Jared's not here to defend it. So,
Haven't you heard the beautiful song from the artist Childish Gambino? You gotta move to California.
I haven't heard that one, no.
You about to lose your freaking mind. You probably lost your freaking mind. It's about a girl that wants to move to California, and he's like, "You want to move to California? You probably lost your freaking mind."
It's a good one.
I'll have to look that up.
I do
Look
like
it up. It's pretty. It's the perfect sensation of what California would feel like, but it's not like that.
I haven't gotten
the
into.
sunsets.
I haven't like gotten into a lot of Childish Gambino, but there's a couple songs that just
He's
like,
a genius.
Like Redbone is just it's
That
an incredible
dude,
song.
that entire album is a
Yeah.
piece of art, and that would be my favorite album of all. Nah, that's hard to say. It's
All right.
hard to
Well,
say.
speaking of things that are hard to say, Mexa, could you please give us this one?
I was reading it, and I was like in my mind, and I was like, "Come on, Mary Mark, like you did me dirty there, man." Like,
Come on, go for it.
how much would a woodchuck? No. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if I would? How much would a wood? No, no, never mind. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if it could chuck wood?
Yeah,
Something like that.
that's
But
a short
faster,
version
right?
too.
I was
Yeah.
gonna
How
say
much
that's
wood would a
shorter.
kid chuck?
It's truncated.
Yeah, because I've heard the big one, and it's, you guys already say that's why I love English language. It's so complex in some ways, and so simple in others.
Have you ever heard the She Sells by the
Yeah.
Seashore?
Yeah.
Yep.
I like Led Zeppelin. Okay, I like the Down by the Seaside, something
Well,
like that. I don't know. That reminds me of that song.
The point of the story was I brought a laptop. I was totally ready to stream from California Sunday night, and my stream reminder alarm went off, and we were still like 3 hours away from the hotel. So
Yerp.
That sounds fun.
So that's what happened. But we're back. We're all back. The kids have stopped throwing up, and they had fun anyway. And I'm super excited to stream. How you guys doing tonight?
Fantastic.
Hallelujah.
Do you
What
have
is that
your?
you got there? Is that a frozen banana, Corbin? What?
This is Bolis, and it's amazing.
It's a popsicle.
Yeah.
Okay, yummy.
If you've ever gone to a paleteria in Mexico, like they have all the like juices and popsicles and
Oh yeah.
that's what this. It's a pina colada, and it's
Nice.
from the paleteria La Michoacana. Oh my gosh!
Bro, I was trying to do math and listen to you, and I have no idea what you said right there.
He's eating popsicles from La Michoacana.
Oh, for real? Oh, that's a good one. That's
Yeah, we
good.
get some of them imported here. It's nice.
It's weird,
And
right?
I'm just gonna make love to this. So if you hear sensuous little
I was like, you're going at it like a champion, man. Like you're a master on that. You gotta continue doing that the rest of your life until you get there at sucking.
Oh boy.
Okay, so we don't
I'm
have
just
a
joking,
lot to talk about other
Oh.
than just recommending good movies tonight. And there's some bad takes and there's some news. So David, you said you worked on a top 5 list. If you don't have a top 5 list, that's fine. We can just recommend some of your favorites.
Yeah,
But
but please go
David,
for it
you-
because I had to prepare for.
David,
We had to have a top 5.
no,
Oh, man.
you didn't
Okay.
have to. But some people work. Some people
Yeah,
put work into it.
I tried to get it down to 5. I couldn't. I left it at 10.
Okay.
And there's still several that break my heart that aren't on the list. It's
all right.
I like too many movies.
Okay. Well, since David put in the most work, let's start with your top 5, and then we'll do some news, and then we'll do someone else's, and then we'll do some bad takes.
Okay.
Yeah, please make me go a last. The last one. Yeah, the last one.
Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here,
I need to.
we'll give you a little highlight.
Ooh.
How we like that?
Nice.
Is that
it's
better?
ooh.
Oh, that's much better. I like that much better.
Okay, so here's my list. Again, I got it down to 10. That's all I could manage, and they're not really ranked. The only one I know is my number 1 is The Princess Bride.
It's a good one.
I think it's such a good movie, and it's so rewatchable. A lot of movies that I liked as a kid, you go back and rewatch and I'm like, yeah, some of that doesn't hold up, but The Princess Bride is just fantastic through and through.
And obviously, it goes without saying that everyone's favorite are the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So just to
the Lord of the Rings got bumped off my list.
This doesn't include. This cannot include any franchises. Like, it's not fair. Like I said,
Yeah,
I could say Star Wars.
I said, everything. The Dark Knight got bumped off my list. Spider-Man 2 got bumped off my list. Pirates of the Caribbean, Lord of the Rings, all that got bumped off my list.
All right, well, it better be a good
really,
list.
Really sad.
And it got bumped off of your list, but you still only have 4.
No, I have 10 that are still on the list.
So
it
yeah,
was really tough, bro. It was really tough. So Princess Bride. I did leave Empire Strikes Back on my list. That's my favorite Star Wars movie. I think it built off the original. As much as I love the original Episode 4, the
lightsaber fight sucks.
The lightsaber fights do not hold up, and Empire Strikes Back just takes it up to the next level. And the drama in it is amazing, and I just love it. As a kid, my favorite was Return of the Jedi
because you're an idiot, right?
Because I just like Jungle Planet, so that was my favorite one because you're speeding on the speeder bikes and whatever. But Empire Strikes Back, I think, is the better movie. Shawshank Redemption. I freaking love Shawshank Redemption. I haven't seen that one as many times as the other movies on my list, but it's so good. The narration, the story behind it, I don't know. I just love Shawshank Redemption. It's a great movie.
You want to know something funny about Shawshank?
What's that?
I've never seen it all the way through. I've never seen it all the way through. I know everything about the movie. I've seen the ending to Shawshank Redemption about 50 times on television. I'm always catching the tail end of it. So I know the ending by heart, right? Like
yeah, that sucks. Yeah, it's a movie that everybody needs to see that at least once. It's such a good movie.
It's good. It's good. I'll watch the whole thing eventually.
So that was on my list. Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade is on my list. That one didn't get bumped off.
I forgot about those guys. Yeah,
that one is probably my favorite of the Indiana Jones. I love Sean Connery in that role. It was just seeing that father-son dynamic was just fantastic. Inception. I love Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan's a great director, and I think he's made a lot of good films, but I think Inception is still my personal favorite of his.
Yeah, it's probably his best one.
It's really fantastic. Sixth Sense is my favorite M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong movie. It's
You mean it wasn't the last Avatar or Airbender?
Oh, that was a close second.
We will get to that later.
Yeah, next week we should do the top worst movies that we wanted to enjoy but are terrible or something.
I think you're probably right about The Sixth Sense being his best movie, even though I like Signs better.
Yes,
dude, you got me there. I love Signs better.
I like Signs and I love Unbreakable.
But Sixth Sense is a better made movie.
It's so well crafted.
Yeah,
and it's kind of oh
my gosh,
a little bit cliche now.
Don't spoil Sixth Sense for me.
Shut up, Mark. Mark probably watched the end of Sixth Sense and hasn't watched the rest of the movie. But yeah, Sixth Sense is fantastic. Jurassic Park. The first Jurassic Park. The other ones are okay. I enjoy all the films. but nothing beats the first one. The first one is just so classic
Not
and
the third
amazing,
one.
and the CGI
I like the third
is
movie.
groundbreaking
Yeah.
and
better than
fantastic. And then let's see, we've got three more. Hook. I freaking love Hook.
All right.
Perfect casting for every single cast member is just perfect.
How recently have you watched Hook?
It's been a couple years.
It's still good. It's also like weirdly sexual.
Really?
I get that, yeah.
The Tinkerbell stuff is
Tinkerbell stuff is a
really
little bit weird.
But it's not enough to like
But
take away from the film.
I
Is
don't know.
good.
I freaking love that movie. It's the perfect casting for Peter Pan, for Hook, Tinkerbell, Lost Boys. It's just so nostalgic and amazing. And then we've got Rear Window. I freaking love Alfred Hitchcock. He's got so many good films. I think Rear Window is probably my personal favorite. Well, no. There's other ones I like more. As like I like Rope. Rope is probably I like
Rope
more
is
than
really
Rear
good.
Window, but I think Rear Window is better made.
South by Southwest.
South by Southwest is really good too. But Rear Window is just so perfect, and
it's hard to argue that there's a better
and
Hitchcock movie. Though.
Rear Window has been ripped off so many times.
Oh yeah,
and it still holds up. It's amazing. And the last one on my list is Back to the Future.
Yes,
I think that one is so good. Just the story is so well crafted, and it's fun and adventurous, and I love it.
it's a classic for sure. Yeah,
that's my list of 10 movies.
You reminded me that I thought of a film and didn't have my phone on me, and then forgot it.
Yeah,
It's going on my list.
Nice. But yeah, I was surprised because the ones I first thought of were Empire Strikes Back, that stayed on the list, Spider-Man 2, The Dark Knight, Pirates of the Caribbean, Lord of the Rings, The Lion King, like all those. And then just the more I thought of other movies that I like, I'm like, yeah, I love all these nerdy comic book films and sci-fi and fantasy or whatever, but there's other films that are better. So anyways, that's my list. And again, nothing's really ranked in terms of best to worst, but I think Princess Bride is my favorite of all time. And then everything else is just freaking good movies.
Yeah, Princess Bride.
Who didn't want to be the Man in Black growing up, right? Like
I know, right?
Wesley.
He's so cool.
I always loved that name, Wesley. Like I when I was young, I was like, why wasn't I named Wesley? Like I want to be named Wesley.
Yep.
Yeah, we talked about Princess Bride and Star. I forgot it again.
Stardust.
Stardust. Yeah, when we last or not 2 weeks ago, right? When I brought up Stardust. But yeah, Princess Bride. Princess Bride is a good movie. It's definitely my top 10. But yeah, I don't think it makes my top 5. I think it's what holds it back from being better than the ones on my top 5 is probably just like the most of the set design is wonderful, but sometimes like you can see like it looks like a stage play.
Yeah. Especially the scene where
but it's so fighting. Good you don't care.
Yeah.
But if it was just like a little bit better.
The scene where he's fighting Fezzik on the rocks
it's horrible.
Like plastic.
It's horrible.
That's probably the worst.
But it's great because it's so good you don't care.
The story's awesome, and the humor is just so on point, and it's silly and ridiculous, but infinitely quotable. I just freaking love Princess Bride. So
it's a solid list. I don't think I have problems with anything on your list.
All right, I was expecting you to pick it apart and say, "No, that doesn't belong on the list. That sucks."
No, those are all solid picks.
Yeah, they are, and they are great recommendations as well. To maybe if I haven't by any chance seen any of those, I'm going to rewatch the podcast and watch them. It's just that damn, this Ash is freaking thick, bread. It's hard to breathe. No kidding.
Yep.
Yeah, if you see me reading hard, it's just a damn. It's raining. It started raining with the ashes, and now it's just a mess everywhere. It's a mess. Such a fun city.
Yep.
Mark Clark wants to know if you've ever read the Princess Bride book. I have
I
not read it, and
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people say the movie's better.
Oh, but the book's good. The book's good.
Yeah,
Well, the interesting thing about the book that it's written as if it's like commenting on another book that's been read
yeah,
by that author. So it's really interesting because it's like it's written about like, oh yeah, and in this book that we're critiquing, the author talks about this, but we're just going to skip over that part and we're going to get to the more exciting part. So it's really I thought it was really interesting when I read it. It's
right.
It's
Well,
not as good as the movie.
Framed the same way that the movie is.
Yeah,
Like it's a person reading a book.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, like critiquing it. It was
No.
really interesting.
I've heard it's good.
Yeah, I should get around to reading it because I love it so much. But yeah, I've never read the book.
I should put that on my list, huh?
Same here. Yeah, I've been reading a lot lately.
Okay. You guys want to learn some news? You guys
Yes,
want to see
please.
some news, and then we'll get into other people's favorites.
Let's do it.
Here is this one. I had all my screens loaded up, and then we had technical difficulties, and I realized that I have to reshare the screens. Okay.
Yep.
George R. R. Martin, like he has been for the last 15 years, is participating in the writer's strike.
And this is news.
Yeah, it's news. No, it's definitely. So that's, in case you're wondering, that's why Winds of Winter is not out yet. It's because of
the writer's strike.
It's because of the
You know,
strike, guys.
George R. R. Martin was just an early adopter.
Yeah. Oh, the writer's strike is such a joke.
Well,
I don't feel bad for these. I don't feel bad for these writers. That they're
number one.
they're one of the biggest problems with Hollywood right now is the writing. And now they're complaining that they're not getting paid enough. And their biggest argument is that writing shouldn't be a gig job when it's the exact definition of a gig job. I just don't have sympathy for these people.
Yep.
I think they're also, and I wanted to actually bring this up, with the evolution of AI, these writers have to be extraordinarily careful.
Yeah, it's a bad time to go on strike.
Yes, because AI, I was doing some research on my own and just reading stuff. ChatGPT is doubling its intelligence every 36 to 48 hours.
Wow.
And it has been for the past 6 months, and they predict that it will continue that trend for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's like ChatGPT is going to get to the point where you can tell it to write you a custom Harry Potter fan fiction, for example, that's exactly 400 pages long, and it's going to spit something out. Now, it might not be perfect right now. It might be full of loopholes, all that crap. But eventually it's going to get to the point where I think humankind going to be so affected by AI that we will lose our creativeness.
I think there will always be a place for creativity.
Well,
I think that AI is fantastic for automating grunt work, and for it is good at coming up with ideas. But as far as like a cohesive narrative and like you're never going to be able to get rid of like the human spark of intuition. And I think where it's headed is, authors working hand in hand with AI. Like you can use AI to come up with a concept, but you're always going to need like an editor, right? You're always going to need someone to put the pieces together.
Exactly.
I firmly disagree with that. I think I think it's going to be sooner rather than later. Creativity in humankind is going to take a complete.
I think
the crapper.
I think it'll get to the point.
why would you work so hard on a book that an AI can do that's just as good? And I'm saying this is a bad thing. I'm saying this is terrible.
Right.
Why would people work so hard on a book or a movie script when an AI computer has the intelligence of every book that's ever written, and it's gotten to the point in the next couple years where it can spit out.
But it doesn't know why, right? An AI is never going to be able to say why something is good. It's going to be able to analyze things that are good and try and make similar things, but it's never going to have the spark of creativity. So think of it as a database. Like, it's going to be an infinite database. It's going to be able to pull off some incredible things, but it will never get to the point where, at least in my personal opinion, I don't think an AI is capable of getting to the point where it can, for this is a very niche example, but it would apply to other aspects. I don't think AI can ever get to the point where it could write a plot twist that makes sense. Not saying it can't write plot twists, but the quality of writing that you're going to get from an AI is going to be the equivalent of Now You See Me.
Yeah, I was going to say that
where
too.
It'll create a plot twist, but it doesn't make sense for the like if you analyze it, it's like, oh, this is just there because it's a thing that's being checked off.
Yeah.
Well, this is interesting too, because in like architecture, this has been kind of a thing that's come up too, because you can get cool pictures of architecture from AI as well really easily. And so there's a lot of debate about, whether or not we'll still need it. People like architects in the future to design buildings when we can do AI that will do it so much faster. And I think that's really the valid point that you're bringing up, Alan, is that like the AI really are about like gathering as much information.
It's about aggregation.
Information that's already been used into something. Which is like a part of what architects do, is we try to take all of this knowledge and then we try to create something out of it. But like Alan said, like the why is a huge part of it, right? So architects are all about telling the story and creating emotion and bringing these sorts of aspects into the building and in the design. So we can have designs by AI, but they'll never have that sort of human aspect of the why. Like, oh, we're building this so that we can envelop, a better society together, a better community together.
Mm-hmm.
So they can definitely, synopsis all of this stuff and bring that in together, but that why will always be missing.
But I guess what I'm saying is like the why sure could always be missing, but there's already examples of, and they're already having to verify it for art contests and stuff. Right. AI is winning art contests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just last year, an AI written novel almost won a literary prize in Japan. And it was finally put out that it was an AI written novel. Like, it finally came up that, 95% of this novel was written by an AI, and 5% the editor went through it, changed a few things, made it.
Yeah.
But AI made almost the entire novel, and it almost went through in Japan for a huge literary prize in the country of Japan. And that was last year.
Yeah.
And if humans are one thing, and you cannot deny me this, if humans are one thing as just in general, I'm not saying individually, but just as a society, we're lazy. If we can find a way to do something lazier, we will do it lazier. Look at music. Music has taken a crapper recently. It all sounds the same. It's all the same drivel. It's all the same bull crap.
And you don't even live in Mexico, mate. You don't have to listen to reggaeton
we've heard plenty of reggaeton in the 2 years that we lived in Mexico. Okay.
No, it's not compared to the one that's right now. It's literally all the same. Literally, like you said, all the same.
There's two. There's, let's say, and then it mixes up a little bit.
No, that's too good. That's too good. You made it too good, bro. You have too good of a taste to make it good. No, it's just all the same derivative BS.
I'm just saying I'm very scared. I am very scared for
the
future.
I see the glory of AI, and I see what it can do. And without getting like super political or anything, like I see what it can do and it is amazing. But I am scared that AI is going to take away creativity in humans as a whole. There are people who are already.
I think there are definitely some people that.
There are some. There are some.
Yeah, but
is the artist
even today? Even today, you are describing the mass populace, but as lazy, which is true. But there are lots of people who aren't lazy. Okay?
Correct.
Right?
But what I'm saying
even
is, look at the upcoming generation. Look at the upcoming generation. Teachers have had to from every aspect of school, and I'm talking to.
Can AI save Star Wars? Sorry,
Star Wars. No.
It would have done a better job.
It would have got better than what we got, probably. Yeah.
Talking to multiple SROs and multiple principals, teachers in all levels of school have already had to redesign homework.
Yes,
but they've had to redesign classwork from art.
Yes, and I think that's a fantastic thing.
Everything, which it is fantastic. They've had to redesign it because the kids. Why would I spend an hour writing a one-page paper on a book when I can have an AI write it?
Exactly, and I think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. The same thing happened. The same thing happened when they invented the calculator, Corwin. And there was a huge pushback.
The calculator didn't do.
Okay. It's an analogy. It's analogous. It's not a one-to-one comparison. But when the calculator came out, there was a huge pushback, and like, oh, well, we still need to learn, our basic times tables, and it's pointless. I literally never learned my times tables. I know the concept. I know how to do it in my head. I didn't ever bother memorizing times tables because I have a calculator, and I went all the way through. I took linear algebra in college. Okay. That is not an easy class, but I was able to learn more because I didn't have to waste my time with the monotony.
Yeah.
And as soon as we view AI as a tool rather than something to be scared of, like, we're going to be able to do some amazing things.
I'm not scared of it. I'm just saying I've already seen kids use AI to turn in math homework, to
good on those kids.
Homework, to turn in literary homework, to turn in art homework. Homework. You need to go and you need to draw a picture of an elephant. It doesn't have to be good. It can be abstract. This is a real life freaking example because the mom called me to be like, "What are you going to do about it?" I'm like, "Nothing," because I'm a cop and this isn't a crime and be a bloody. That's beside the point. She said, and he an abstract drawing of an elephant. It could be any medium. He could have drawn a stick figure elephant, and he went to AI and did it. And this is not just him. This is. I'm telling you, it is the vast majority of students where schools have to change curriculum, and that's terrifying. You can't. I mean,
it's also smart. If you have a resource, like, why not use it, right? Like, I applaud those students for gaining the system
away
because now they can
responsibility or any sort of learning.
I disagree, Corwin. I think the calculator example is a perfect example. Yes, AI is doing a lot more than just doing a computation, but you know what you have with the calculator? You still have to have human input to give it a thing, and then it calculates something and gives you an answer. Same thing with AI. You still have to give it a prompt. And I think our society is just going to evolve to where we can use AI as a tool, and we still have to put it the prompt. We have to shape it. We have to put everything together in the end. And I think it can be amazing what we can do with AI. We need to stop being scared of it. It's not going anywhere. It's here to stay. We need to learn how to use it to help spark our creativity and use it. And I think you're right. There's still some things it's going to be relied on a lot more, and we might lose some of that creativity. But I think that's where the human interaction in there is going to shine, and we'll be able to pick apart. I don't think, like I said before, the AI can only copy what's already out there. It can't.
You're always going to have human input.
You're always going to have human input, either from from creating the prompt or from piecing together what the AI gives you. There's no
And
way that you can.
and obviously,
take that
some
out,
people are
100%.
going to try and exploit it, and you will get boring stuff, and that will just make the people that are still
use that
good
creativity
shine
better.
all the brighter, right?
Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
And I'll add this too to Corin's sort of idea is that, like, I think the fear is that this art will kind of overtake all the real art that's out there that we can enjoy, right? And that's true. I think absolutely that is true, because there's a lot of really, really beautiful stuff that AI can do, for sure.
Yeah.
But I think also with that, though, it's even more crucial that we are going to have to, as human individuals, develop skills to still do those sorts of talents in a way that can compete with that. Like, and I think that's
Exactly.
really what Corwin's fear is, right? That we won't be able to compete with that. But I mean, and it's been brought up that, hey, we'll be submitting these projects in school as assignments and stuff, and that, I think, ultimately is where we're going to have to, as an individual, say, look, do I want to submit a robot generated image as my homework, or do I want to take the time to develop these skills to make an image like this on my own, right? And
Yeah.
in the architecture field, we're trying to use it as a tool and say, okay, these are things that can inspire us, and then we take those inspiring images and models or whatever, and then we develop something from that, right? And so I think it's all about how we use this, rather than saying, okay, this is something that can potentially take over.
Exactly.
I mean, just think about like CAD.
I agree
right?
with all you're saying.
if
I
you-
agree with it. I just have a much more dystopian view of the future, just because, number one, I mean, I see it. It might not be in, if we're doing examples and stuff. I see it in my job daily, especially when it comes, like, when people say marijuana doesn't harm anybody.
Oh yeah, that's a lie.
It's bullshit. Pardon the language. It is. Drugs.
Yes, I've seen the effects of marijuana on kids.
Or and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying alcohol is good or bad, but I deal with the bad side of alcohol in my job every day. I mean, today it was just, and yesterday and Friday it was just, I don't know what was in the water. Obviously it was moonshine, because it was just a nightmare this weekend. For all I mean, it was just crazy this weekend. All over where we live, every police department in the valley was like at 200-300% call volume. It was insane. But I just have a much more, and again, it could just be me, but I just have a much more negative outlook. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope you guys are right. I want to be that way, because it's like a nuclear warhead. Right?
I think the reason, I totally understand why people are scared. And I think the reason that it's scary is because of how fast it has progressed.
Yeah.
And it's changing very quickly, very largely and quickly, right? So the gap is getting bigger, and that's why it's scary. But if you think about it, like we've always used AI, like if like Photoshop, the background eraser tool, that's AI doing your artwork for you. Yeah. But it's still considered, I don't look down on people who use Photoshop to make their art. Right, Photoshop. Everything you do in Photoshop is AI doing the work for you, but you're always going to have some kind of human element if you want something good. That's my point.
I just hope that humans still keep their creativity, and I'm very negative.
Look at movies. Look at movies. To bring this back to a nerdy topic, the shining example is, you look at movies. You do have lazy people. Half of the scripts in Hollywood might as well have been written by AI. But what has that done? It's made filmmakers like Christopher Nolan and actors like Tom Cruise shine all the brighter. When we go see Top Gun, we're like, yes, this is what we want. We don't want the AI driven stuff. If we're using AI as a tool, hey, guess what? Tom Cruise uses AI when they do the special effects for his movies. They have to paint out backgrounds and do all kinds of rotoscoping. A lot of that is largely assisted by AI, but it's because it has the spark that those other generic Hollywood movies don't have, that you can see the difference. So there will always be a place. And of course, we're going to be inundated with, like what you said, the filth. But there will always be a place for creativity.
I agree.
I think if we choose to, right, like what Corn's saying, we can't lose that creativity.
And we are choosing to. Look how much money Top Gun Maverick made, baby. People are choosing the right. Mark Clark says John Wick just passed 1 billion, and I haven't even seen that one yet. I need to go repent. Scarface is top 5. I have not seen Scarface. I haven't seen a lot of like the old classic gangster movies, and I'm kind of systematically watching one of those every once in a while, and I haven't gotten to Scarface yet. I think Untouchables.
Scarface. I love Scarface. It's one of my favorite movies of all times. When I saw it, the thing is that I've seen way better movies on that same topic, but the Scarface is such dear to my heart because it's a movie that I watched when I was a kid. So all the swearing was hilarious.
Yeah.
And then you appreciated the monster, the way they build the monster, right?
Just think about how cheap it is to make movies nowadays. And I think the AI is going to, if we look at it as a tool, it's going to assist. It's going to decentralize entertainment. Like you can make a movie on your iPhone, and you can make cheap movies with a volume now, right? Combined with AI, like creating the environments for you, automating that process, doing everything quicker. Like people can make their own good movies. So if we use it as a tool, it'll only make things better.
Yep.
If we use it as a crutch, it's going to make things worse. And obviously, there's going to be some people who do one and some people who do the other.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm fairly pessimistic with AI. I think that either we destroy it in when we got the chance, or it's going to literally take over us and become the superior form of intelligence that is going to rule the world. No, literally how our world works is that the higher the hierarchy you have in intelligence, the more complex your brain works. It's you are the dominant one, and right now we are the humans. We are the most dominant. There are some less evolved humans, like we can see, leftist, and there are some people that are trying to live for humanity, which are the most evolved. Every species that is trying to enhance and try to keep the survival of the species is the more evolved the more evolved being. But yeah, AI is going to
I'm also just trying to stay positive on it in case they take over. They can look back.
I'm not an ally. I love I really enjoy when you don't have the ability to do something and something can help you and your creativity. I cannot paint for for dick, but if I ever want to see something that I imagine that will be cool, I can go to an AI or whatever and type my exact idea, and I can see at least my creation, well, not my creation, but what my creativity imagine, and it's something that I really love. And that's as with music. Imagine, bro, you're that are a musician. Imagine with music, like how many times have you said, "Oh my God, I had such a great idea in my mind, and I practically composed it in my mind," but it's really hard to print
get
it.
it out there.
It's really hard to get it out. Imagine if you could just connect something in your brain and the AI does the work for you and just collects all the information of your neural term, whatever, and messages, and it makes the work for you. And it doesn't make the work for you because you already did the work, but you couldn't just print it out.
Yeah, that would make the process I'm going through a lot faster.
Yeah, or writing,
that's the Star Trek version of AI.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Star Trek fan, and I'm warming up to it. I'm sure we'll talk about it later, but
speaking of Star Trek, I did start watching Picard, and I've got thoughts.
I watched
Me too.
season 1, and I went through. I'm a couple episodes into season 2.
Oh, I started at season 3 because there's no way I'm watching the first 2.
Well, I haven't been. Well, anyway, we maybe we talk about this later, but anyway.
Okay, the point of the story was though that George R. R. Martin is not writing Winds of Winter.
How
But
we got
in stark contrast in the news, uh, an infamous author who's taken forever to release a book has actually just announced, finally, Patrick Rothfuss has announced the release date of his next book.
Which is not the conclusion to his trilogy.
No,
It's a novella. It's
he already wrote.
It gets worse. It gets worse.
He already wrote.
He already wrote it before. He's just rewriting it. It's
He
like
made it a little bit longer. So the Lightning Tree was one of those novellas that was published in one of those like omnibus books of like a bunch of short stories. So he made it twice as long, but it was very short to begin with, and he's publishing it as its own short story novella thing. So that's it.
Yep.
That's what everyone wanted.
It's something though. It's progress, I guess.
If you call, the silent roads of silence on
the slow regard.
Yeah, slow regard of quietness.
I just really love ads. I really love ads.
Yeah, you like this one? The top 10
Go
most
up, go up,
bizarre
go up,
Mormon
go up.
beliefs?
You gotta do them in order. You gotta go up, like, play this game for 1 minute and see why everyone is with this picture, and then right below it is Mormon beliefs. Like, you gotta love the. You
do. Yeah.
Bigodas, Dicodas, what?
Yeah, I was really excited when I saw this stream. It was like, yeah, Patrick Rothfuss has finally got a due date for his new book. And then I was like, it sucked.
Yep.
Oopsie.
I was optimistic on Rothfuss for a lot longer than most people. But ever since even up until like last year, I was like giving him the benefit of the doubt. But then after that charity stream where people paid a whole bunch of money for him to release some stuff, and he did. Granted, he did read the epilogue, the prologue.
The prologue, yeah.
And then 2 years pass, and he never released the chapter that people paid like millions of dollars for. Not millions, it was thousands, but I don't. That's not good.
Yep.
It feels like a grift at this point, and it's upsetting because I really, really like his writing. But
I would be perfectly fine if he doesn't know how to wrap it up quite yet. Just split the last book into 2 books. I don't care. Just get something out.
Yeah. And the sad thing too is, like, on the stream, he was like, "Man, it feels good to be back because there was a lot of haters, and I just, I love to see that people still like me." And I'm like, well, why are there haters, Patrick? Why are there haters? Just finish the dang book. Then there wouldn't be haters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. Like, I don't want to at this point I've soured. I've definitely soured on, and I don't think he's doing great things, especially with the charity stream, just ripping people off directly. But I'll be excited if the book ever comes out, but I'm not hoping for it anymore. It's sad. Anyway, more news. Disney is going to be purging content from Disney Plus because apparently they're merging, even though they were already kind of merged with Hulu. I guess they're just going to put it together. Is Hulu disappearing then? Is it just going to become Disney Plus?
Yeah, I think they're consolidating everything. Hulu's not going to be a thing, at least in the United States.
Yeah, they're not going to.
When is this happening?
But,
They're already owned by Disney.
Yeah.
So they're going to be squishing them together, but also removing content, and I guess cycling content, which is funny because some people are upset about it. Namely, the guy who wrote the Willow TV show.
Yep.
He's upset because the tweet is actually really funny. They're removing Willow from Disney Plus, and he's like, "They gave us 6 months." Not even. This business has become absolutely cruel. Well, they also gave you a lot of money, and and I think you're the one that kind of failed to deliver on
Yep.
Willow. So it's funny. I have no
Right.
sympathy for Hollywood writers. Screw them. Embrace the AI.
So it can't do much worse than what they're doing now, right now, anyways.
But also
Right?
half
Yeah,
a
the
year, that's a
Willow.
lot of time.
The Willow thing was Jesus atrocious.
I saw an article. I meant to forward it to you. I saw an article. Oh gosh, it was about the one of the writers of Willow at Disney of the series came out and just said they botched it. Like he said, all the good ideas were thrown out. They're all
good.
like half the writers were kicked out of the room.
I had not heard that one.
I'll find it and send it to you next time. I thought about it and then work kicked in this weekend. Right.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that one, so send it to me. Okay, let's. There's a couple more news things. Rotten Tomatoes has removed audience scores for Peter Pan and Wendy.
Yeah, because they were going to 0.
So, I don't know what the website exists for anymore. It used to be my favorite place to go to see reviews, and now I don't.
Yep.
I don't understand what the purpose of the website is at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Why have a review website when you're not allowed to review?
It's because
Stuff.
review bombing.
Oh,
Review bombing. It's bull crap. Doesn't exist.
it goes both ways.
New report though, like we assumed, Ant-Man Quantumania lost over $100 million.
Yikes.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's supposed to be their big bad going forward.
Superhero burnout, man. It's hit.
not.
It's here.
I don't like that term. It's not superhero burnout. It's bad movie burnout.
Yeah.
We
There's
just
so
watched.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much good comic stories they can pull from, and they just
People
keep
aren't
releasing
tired of
crap.
superhero movies, though. They just watched the Spider-Man movie that made a bunch of money, and Guardians of the Galaxy is doing really well too.
Yeah, and the new Spider-Man movie is going to make way more money. You know, if you could consider Mario Bros a superhero, that also did good. It's not
Yeah.
that; it's just that people are just tired of the same garbage.
Gosh, this movie was awful.
Yeah,
Oh,
like still cannot freaking go past MODOK. Jesus
I did.
Christ,
There was some
dude.
good news though. Their writer's been fired.
He's not in charge of the next
He's
Avengers?
no longer writing the next Avengers movie. Yeah, I had that pulled up
Thank
somewhere.
God.
And I couldn't find it when I was pulling up stuff for the show. So, yeah, the writers Loveless, love boat. Jeff, is it Jeff Loveless?
I don't
Probably.
know.
Yeah, he's been fired. No longer writing the Avengers movie. So
Surprise,
that's good news.
surprise.
I mean, I'm not going to watch it anyway, but at least something good happened. Indiana Jones 5 does not look good. A lot of people have already seen it at Cannes, and it does not look good. The reviews are very, very bad. If you don't know, a 5-minute ovation sounds like a big thing, but at Cannes, the average is 10. No joke. The average ovation after a movie at Cannes is 10 minutes.
Wow.
So it's not good.
Yeah, the guy, the whale guy got like 12 minutes, something like that, or 20 minutes, something weird.
The
like that,
whale was like
fucking
almost
crazy.
an hour. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
It's a stupid thing, but they couldn't last 5 minutes for Indiana Jones 5.
That's it. Well, it looks like after this release, Indiana Jones is still the first 3 movies
Yeah.
are canon in my mind.
nah,
Most
dude,
It's gonna
like
stay that way.
I believe
Most of the-
yeah. Go ahead.
Most of the reviews are saying that it's Phoebe Waller-Bridge's presence, like she's the entire movie and no one likes her.
Lovely.
Indeed, and the people who like her, well, they're chills. But yeah, the thing with people were really harsh on the 4th movie, and we're gonna get like
We're gonna get the
worst.
prequel
Yeah, the
syndrome all
worst.
over again.
The worst movie of the Indiana Jones franchise, and people are gonna be like, "Okay, the Phantom Menace was not that bad after the not the Last
Yeah.
Jedi, but the other one, the
I definitely
Rise of the
don't-
Skywalker."
I don't love Indiana Jones 4, but there were parts of it that were okay. I actually liked Shia LaBeouf.
There were parts that were still indie, you
I
know,
did.
that it still felt
Yeah.
like he
I
was
thought
still
it was a good play on
in the
on
age.
on the third movie with him and his father, and then seeing Indiana Jones with Shia LaBeouf. I thought their
Yeah.
interactions were good. The movie had a lot of other problems,
Mostly the ending.
And the fridge.
and the
That was just
ends.
weird. The end just was weird.
No,
I
the
just
fridge
can't
was cool.
think of
The
Shia
fridge
LaBeouf
was
without-
cool, bro.
Without thinking about the Shia
Dude.
LaBeouf song.
Real story, real story. Ever since the fridge thing in Indiana Jones 4, every time I get a fridge or every time I go to a new apartment, I try to see if I fit in the freaking fridge.
The
Just
problem
in
was
case.
the problem was
Just-
the fridge thing. There is a good idea behind the fridge because you could survive a nuclear blast encased in lead. Like that will save you from the radiation. The problem was that it was bouncing
Yep.
at high velocities for like miles, and you're like, no, he's a pancake. He's soup now. Like,
Yep.
But every time I see a fridge, I'm like, yeah, I fit there.
more news. A couple more news stories. The Star Wars Hotel is shutting down
What?
after
Oh yeah,
not,
no, yeah, actually, yeah, I was just reading about this.
not even a year.
Whoever came up with that idea, I mean, granted, it's really cool.
It's not a bad idea. It's bad
My cousin
execution.
went to it, and he said it was amazing. I know because he lives on. He said it was just phenomenal. It was amazing. Yada yada yada. It was not worth the money, and he
Yep.
got in. My understanding is he got in on like some promoter code or some worker code or something. But he was like, "No, I'm not going to pay $5,000 for a 2-night stay,
Yep.
so I can pretend to be a part of a Star Wars live show. It's $5,000 a
Exactly.
person for a 2-night stay. Who in their mind thought that people were gonna?
If
Go.
it was centered, if it was themed around the original trilogy, people would have gone.
People
would have paid
Perhaps.
$5,000.
I don't. Yeah, but who, Alan? Like,
I know
mean,
people that would have
okay,
gone.
Yeah, I, mean,
I know
I
a lot
wouldn't
more
because
people
that's
would have
like
gone.
that's 100K pesos, right?
I agree that the price point is
for
big,
two people,
but
two
the bigger problem was not the price; it was the theme. It was that they
Yeah.
themed it around the sequels instead of the original trilogy. If
It
they
was
did the original trilogy, they probably
$5,000
could have gotten away with it.
A person, a family of 4 was $20,000.
Yeah,
Who? And so again,
Famous celebrities or
who
something like that, you know.
who can afford that?
Celebrities, the kind of people that would look.
Corwin, you want to know the answer to that question? Who can afford that? Star Wars nerds.
Dude, but you want to take your family 20
Fans of the original trilogy who now have been working for 30 years and have pensions and like the original trilogy.
But why
and want
would
to go on a
you-
vacation?
Oh yeah. In that case, yes, because the
for
thing is that make
two
it
nights? I
freaking-
don't think so.
Yeah, I think it was expensive as is. I think it would have been more profitable if
Bro,
it was
if I
based
could
on the
pay-
originals.
If I could pay $5,000 to erase my memory and watch Star Wars for the first time again, I would take that in a heartbeat.
Mhm.
That would be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But see, even if you make it about the sequel, make it about the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, who cares? Just do something good, because I saw the tour, some of the tours, and they were awful. They were trash. It was so
Yep.
painfully bad. The acting, the scripts that they had to do, the activities, the shopping, the food, everything was just garbage all the way around. And
And you're-
even these guys that the guys from Neurotic and that do Friday Night Heights and all those things that go to these kinds of parks because they live in Florida.
Yeah.
And they are like, no, this is garbage. It looks like from the side, it looks like garbage. From the photos, it looks like garbage. And who, like you said, who would want to watch if it looks like garbage and they say it's garbage? Why would you want to watch something about the sequels?
This was also a good point, though. Like you weren't allowed to leave the hotel.
No.
It was an immersive experience. You couldn't leave, and they would transport you from the hotel to the park in a box. Like you could never see the outside.
The hell?
like
I said,
I get that immersion's a thing, but like
it was
if-
poorly executed and it was expensive as hell.
yeah.
Look, if I can drive a TomTom, I will pay any kind of money.
If
If I could drive a TomTom,
if they could have pulled it down to say 1,500 per person for 2 nights,
Mhm.
you would have seen, even with the crappy, you would have, if they would have been able to pull that down, you would have seen families of 3 and 4 and 5 go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's 20 grand for 2 nights for a family of 4, kids were no exception. So even like your little baby, Alan, still was 5 grand for 2 nights. Like,
no, I think our tickets for Legoland for a 2-day thing in Legoland were less for the hotel, and tickets to Legoland were less than $1,000 for an entire family.
that's awesome.
if they could,
We did have a big discount.
brought it down to 1,500 a person for the 2 nights. So a family of 4 would have been 6 grand. I think you would have seen it.
Well,
But-
to be honest, I think the issue is that what you get in the immersion in this hotel is very similar to what you can get at Disney World or Disneyland, right? Like you go to the Star Wars land and Disneyland, and you get some of the same sort of immersion, right? But like to pay for and how much are you paying for that? You're only paying
$300.
like we're talking about, a much more affordable rate to go and experience that for a little bit, and then to experience or expect that you're going to pay $5,000 for basically the same thing, except for you get to sleep there. Like, it definitely is hard to compare.
Yeah, I definitely think that's the case. I think it's a similar issue with Galaxy's Edge too. They have really cool areas where you could build your own lightsaber in Savi's workshop, or you build your own droid. And people complained about the prices of those, and it was like $200 to build your own lightsaber. That's freaking awesome, and I wanted to do it, but I'm like, that's a lot of money, especially to drag my whole family there, pay for admission to the park, and buy $200, per lightsaber or droid that we want to get. It's like that's a lot.
But that's how much they generally cost anyway. And
how much are the wands at Harry Potter World?
And that's what I was
like
about
$50.
to pull out. That's what I was about to pull. I let Alan borrow this when they went to Harry Potter World. And if you guys haven't seen his Harry Potter World song, Harry Potter Saved My Marriage, it's phenomenal.
It's a good one.
That's
Yeah,
good.
it's they're 55
$60.
to 63.
Yeah.
And
The higher end ones are $63.
this was the Elder Wand that I got. That was 63. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little tip at the end.
Is that the interactive one?
Yes, this is the interactive one. And Alan, you guys used it a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah, we bought Elliot got to do the little not sorting thing, the wand experience, whatever it was.
Right.
Yeah.
And you go to, and it comes with this little map.
So we stole yours for me to play with, and Elliot, we bought one for Elliot. Yeah.
And it comes with this map of Hogsmeade and Hogwarts, at least at Universal, because Universal doesn't have. I don't think they have the. I can't remember if they don't have Hogwarts, or I can't remember which one they don't have. But on this,
Well, it's divided into 2 parks, and half of Harry Potter World is in one, and half is in the other.
Yeah.
The California Adventure and Universal Studios, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But the maps have there's these different spots that you can go and each spot
cast spells.
is like a spell, and you can cast a spell, and it does things like there's a water fountain that's really funny. Like in order for you to get water, you've got to cast the spell, and then the water fountain will start. You can start drinking the water fountain. But what you don't know is it causes the water fountain on the other side, because it's a really big. It's like a town square type thing. It causes the water fountain on the other side to squirt at the audience.
Huh.
So it's an interaction, or it'll cause another water fountain that's over there to stop working. So someone will be drinking, and then it stops working, and then they
That's
use
hilarious.
it, and then it spurts you in the face. It's phenomenal. That experience is park admission plus a cool wand that you get to keep forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but the thing with the lightsaber is that those types of lightsabers, they cost that much outside of the park already. So that's that's something I would expect. And I mean, as a Star Wars fan, that's something you're probably okay with spending, right? I mean, like huge Star Wars fan, maybe that's, I don't know. But because for example, if I had the money, I would love to do that as well, right? And so you probably save up to make that possible if that's really something you want to do. But it's
Definitely.
like
But
I agree. It's kind of pricey, but not like $5,000.
It's crazy.
Yep.
Well, it didn't work, is the point. And it's just a long list of losses that Disney has been taking, which is relevant for the next story because they're being sued by their shareholders.
Yep, they are.
Wow.
This is stuff we've talked about profusely. We already knew what was going on. We already knew that they were defrauding their investors. And now there's an official lawsuit. Specifically, I mean, there's a whole bunch of legalese. The issue is that they were saying things that were untrue to their investors, and it's more specifically about how much money their movies were making and how much money Disney Plus was actually making. So Disney Plus was massively overevaluated, and they were inflating numbers, like similar to what they were trying to do with Rings of Power, kicking people out of the episodes. So they have to restart it so that it counts as 2 views, right? All kinds of shady stuff like that.
And we talked previously about how when Disney Plus first started, there was a deal where you could prepay for 3 years and get it cheaper. And that 3 years just ended, and I think they lost a lot of subscribers because of that. People did not renew their contracts.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing else to watch in Disney anymore. Like everything new is trash, and probably everyone already saw everything that they wanted to see at the Disney movies. The golden era of Disney, which was the 90s and the early 20s, probably the 2000s.
Well, and essentially, they were also playing a shell game of hiding the losses on their legacy platforms, like shifting the losses over to Hulu. I don't know if that's specifically what they were doing, but there's lots. You can have shell corporations, and it's owned by this. So technically, sometimes what studios will do is the studio that's putting up all the money, they will have a shell corporation. They will hire a shell corporation to produce the movie, so that if it's a loss, the original corporation isn't actually like liable for the loss. It's the shell corporation, which can just disappear. They can just create a new one.
Yep.
Wow.
So screw you, Disney. I hope you get sued more. So Disney sucks, and they are groomers. So apparently, Morphy Clark says that season 2 is going to be great, and that her character will have a life-changing experience. Like, I mean, maybe learning to smile.
That would be life-changing.
That'll be life-changing. Who knows?
Or emoting. Actually emoting.
The lightsabers are 50% off at Ultra Saber right now, if you're interested. Just say the ones you can use to duel with are 50% off. So like the $700, $800 lightsaber is $422, or like the 500 one is $250. Like, I don't know, I might be buying a lightsaber tonight.
Maybe. That would certainly be more life-changing than watching the Rings of Power.
I freaking hate you all, guys. You have access to all these cool things like lightsabers and shit. Bro, I have access to ashes, volcanic ashes, and discount weed. And like, what do I get here in Mexico? Let me think.
Hey, you have access to empanadas de tinga, okay?
Oh, Jesus, no. Disgusting.
This is a great point. Life-changing, like having a husband, maybe? Yeah.
Is she gonna manifest?
I can save you. I can save the bad boy.
There's been more Wheel of Time casting announced for season 3. And they all look like freaks.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the lady on the left, you think that
she looks
that's the most normal?
She
looks normal. She just looks...
Oh, this one isn't new casting.
Oh. Okay.
They've known this for 2 years, and they're trying to pass that off as news, but the other 3 are new. Yeah, she's Shiriam.
The one on the far right looks normal.
Yeah.
I thought Shiriam was the tree hugger lady.
Sorry, Varen. Sorry, this is Varen Sedai.
Varen Sedai. Okay, cool.
Yeah, they've known her. She's been cast for 2 years, and everyone assumed that she was Varen, and now they're trying to pass it off as news. Oh, she's Varen.
Did they say who the other people are playing, or did they just say they've been cast?
I don't care. So that's probably Tuon. They're gonna race swap Tuon and make her white, and the other two are I don't care. I would say Fail, but none of them are men. So
Yeah.
that's the
All
news. That's the news for this week / 2 weeks. Hail text, by the way. Oh yeah. No, we're glad you're back in the live streams.
Yeah.
That's a bummer. Divorce is a huge bummer.
Oh,
I love my
shoot,
wife, and I would never think about divorcing her. But sometimes you have like those intrusive thoughts of just like the logistics. You're like, how would we divide everything up if that ever happened, right? And that just sounds like a nightmare. So sorry about that.
Yeah. I mean, I just went through a breakup too, bro. That sucks, bro.
Yeah.
It sucks. But you will bounce back like a champion, man. You will rise from the ashes like a phoenix.
Especially because we know you have good taste
Mhm.
by your choice in entertainment tonight.
There you
Exactly.
go.
So, good luck. There's plenty of fish in the ocean. I say ocean because that's bigger than the sea.
not true. That's not true, dude.
There's no. Are they all washing up?
Just work in yourself and get better for yourself, and then girls will,
Become the kind of
you.
make sure that you're the kind of person that you would want to date.
And it's hard. It's freaking hard, man. It's freaking hard.
Does suck.
Yeah.
Movie lists.
Movie lists. Yes, that's the news. That's the news. We've got some bad takes which we can go to later. I watched the first 2 episodes of Picard because of the stupid poll, and we can go into like I'm thinking of maybe doing an in-depth discussion of Mark Clark is added to Angry Mex's Coyote Fund. Thank you so much.
No, you gotta change that into Angry Mexa's volcano
Survival fund.
Volcano
FEMA, yeah.
relief.
Volcano relief fund. That was the word that I was looking for. Yeah. Hell yeah.
So I watched the first 2 episodes of Picard, and because I did a road trip, I read a bunch of books. Someone asked me how long the road trip to California was, and my answer was 2 audiobooks. I read Dune 1 and 2 on the way there. And on the way back, I read The Hobbit and the second book to the advanced Arcane Ascension that I talked about a while ago.
Oh,
So-
Arcane Ascension.
Nice.
You've been listening to those?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think there was a new one that just came out, but I haven't read it. But
The-
I've read
the-
the new ones.
There's 4 books right now, and he's planning on like 6 or 7. So
Oh, maybe I have. I think I have read all 4.
the 4th book came out in 2001, so it's been a while. I think he's working on the 5th one right now.
Yeah, I have.
It's pretty good. But I think I want to do like an in-depth discussion on Picard or Star Trek in general on maybe another stream. So I won't get into it just yet. I think there's some people from the White Cloaks Discord that might want to jump on and talk about Picard. We'll see about that.
Yeah, nobody said it
my
needs
overall
no
impression,
coyote.
though.
No coyote.
Yeah, because they're all owned by the cartel. Still mention Coyote Club. Yeah, that's a good joke. Good joke. Okay, I'll just keep my overall impressions of Picard are it's not horrible. It's well made. Season 3. I'm not even bothering with 1 and 2. I don't care. I was told I had to watch season 3. I watched the first 2 episodes. It's well made. It's well acted. It was awesome seeing Riker.
Yeah.
Right? It was great. It was awesome seeing him and Picard together again. It's really cool. It doesn't feel like Star Trek. It's not bad. I didn't hate it. It was enjoyable. it does not feel like Star Trek at all to me.
But it feels like
it's an action movie, and that's not what Star Trek is.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's bad. It's weird. And
I look at it
why is there money? Why is there money in the show? There's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
Star Trek. They don't use money.
Oh,
I don't
like,
understand. There's like poor people. There's poor
crystals
people.
or whatever.
It's for why has the world become a dystopia? What
I haven't
happened?
seen the third episode. I haven't seen the third season yet.
the first 2 seasons happen.
There's like a bunch of like junkies, and like I don't care about the junkie character. I don't care about her. I'm not interested in her at all. Her part of the story is super boring until Worf showed up, and that was just at the end of episode 2. So I don't care about her at all.
Is she right?
And why is she like living in the slums? Like why do slums exist? They're not supposed to exist in Star Trek. It's supposed to be a futuristic utopia where money doesn't exist and everyone has money now. Why would you revert back to it doesn't make I don't like it.
Maybe there was like an alien fentanyl or something like that.
Dystopias of the future.
Or maybe they just
That's what made Star Trek unique, though. It was one of the first depictions of the future that wasn't a dystopia.
right.
An utopia, literally.
And that's
yes.
why they do the Starfleet. They're like, we're going to focus on just science stuff because we don't need to worry about money. We can literally just make food out of nothing. So poverty doesn't make sense. Anyway.
Yep. They make a point in the shows several times, at least the original shows, how they've transcended past monetary interactions,
Anyway, so you guys, let's talk about movies.
Yeah.
Real quick, I would just say that I've had some strange, like, the same sort of thoughts too, Alan, as I was watching this one, and I watched season 2 as well.
Mhm.
But like this third season, I mean, yeah, like cinematography wise,
Yeah.
it has been really good. There's a lot of improvements, especially over season 2. But story wise, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of weak points.
I like the story that Picard's involved in. I don't care about the other girl, but look, it's well made, well shot. I'm enjoying it. It's not Star Trek to me.
Yeah.
And I'm not even super religious Star Trekkie. I've seen a lot of it, but I never watched it religiously.
Yeah.
I've probably seen like 30 to 40 episodes of Star Trek ever. And I enjoyed it. I enjoy it, but I'm not like a nut. I'm trying to get into it. I started watching Next Gen. Anyway, movies.
Mm-hmm.
I've got my list.
Rules was
I
good,
still
though.
wants to go.
Corwin.
I've already went.
Jared, you don't have a list, right? Jared doesn't have a list, or do you have?
No,
a list?
I have a list.
Do I go? Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
I
go
don't
ahead.
care. Go.
Go ahead, Corey.
What's going on?
Go first.
All right. So I put a few on here that are really good movies. David stole some of my thunder, so I'll axe those. Some of these
still
you may
mention
have heard of. Some of them you may have not. Some of them may be very nostalgic. One of my favorite movies of all time is Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good choice. That's a good pick.
Oh Brother, Where Art Thou is
Is that the best Coen Brothers movie?
I would argue yes.
It probably.
It is an amazing parody of the Iliad. It is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay. It's hard because they do have a couple different genres in their repertoire. Because it's hard to compare that to No Country for Old Men, which
Right.
is probably better film, but totally different genre. So okay.
Yeah. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? It has a lot of Southern humor in it.
That's a bona fide choice. Yeah.
And my mom is from the South, and
Okay. I
and
get
so
the personal.
it also hits home for me, like it does. But overall, it is still an amazing movie. Like,
It's great.
It's a movie you will watch and quote 15 years from now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
The best line is you was fixing to fornicate yourself, which I often use out of context, and people look at me and I'm like, it's brother, we're out there, guys.
We thought You was a toad.
It's great. I love it.
RUNNOFT.
RUNNOFT, and the one guy's like, or the baptismal scene. You remember when I knocked off that Piggly Wiggly? I thought, and Piggly Wiggly, for those who don't know, is a gas station in the South. Remember when I knocked off that Piggly Wiggly? I thought you said you didn't rob that Piggly Wiggly. Well, I lied. And the pastor said that's done washed away too.
Yeah, that's so good.
Really good show. Another one that is kind of from
sorry. I need a cipher to understand what's going on here. Is that supposed to be TNG, I assume? Or temperature? 1, Star Trek temperature. 2, Victor Victoria. 3, 9 to 5. 4, Tootsie. Oh, okay, these are your favorites. Star Trek, TNG is your favorite. Victor Victoria, I've never heard of. 3 is 9 to 5. That's the one with yeah. Why can't I remember her name? Yeah, Tootsie's good. Tootsie's good. The Crying Game. I've never seen The Crying Game. Okay.
One of Dustin Hoffman's best movies.
Oh, Dustin Hoffman.
My next
Dolly
one
Parton is 9 to 5.
It's gonna be Bernie with Jack Black.
Oh wow. Okay.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Interesting deep cut there.
Yeah, it's based off of a true story.
It's a good movie.
He talked to the actual guy. It's about a guy who was like super uber duper Christian and ends up murdering the old lady that he was taking care of that drove him insane.
Yeah.
And
it's a fascinating true story.
Yeah, fascinating true story. And it is funny. If you get that humor, it is, because the people they talk to, like the people they interview, because as you go throughout the movie, that's Jack Black and actresses, and who plays the gal he murders? What is that? What is her name? Do you want to? Let's see.
Oh, TMP, the motion picture.
Shirley MacLaine. Shirley MacLaine plays Miss Nugent, the old lady that gets murdered. Anyway, but as they go through the movie, they interview the people that were actually there.
The motion picture. I'm an idiot. Star Trek, the motion picture.
The motion picture. Oh, for
really better than Wrath of Khan? Okay.
Well,
that's an odd choice. Okay. Bernie. Sorry, Bernie. We're talking about Bernie.
But the people they interview are the people that are actually like, were there, are Bernie's neighbors, know Bernie, know the woman that got murdered.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just giving their honest opinions, and it is...
Well, they all loved him.
The whole town.
Everyone loved Bernie.
They have to move the trial for the guy's murder to another city, another county,
because it was impossible for him to get a trial where anyone would convict him.
Anyone would convict him because he was like, Bernie, go watch it. It is really funny. If you get Southern humor, it's hilarious.
Yeah, I believe they got a lot of. Oh no, there's a lot of interviews of the actual neighbors, but yeah, they weren't acting in the film.
Yeah, they were. No, some of them were. There's a few of them who were in the film that were actors, like in the
real people
stuff that were talking to Jack Black as the neighbors. Like, because if you look at the credits, it will say so and so as himself or herself. It's funny.
It's definitely worth a watch. I don't know if I'd put it in my top 10, but it's a great movie. Also, Matthew McConaughey's in it, so there's that.
And he does a really good job.
And I believe it's one of the only movies where he keeps his shirt on the whole time.
Yes, because he plays a podunk, small town county prosecutor.
Yeah.
So, anyway, one of my favorite movies of all time is The Count of Monte Cristo.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Oh, shit.
It is one of my favorite movies of all time. That's in my top 5.
Yeah, that's a good pick too.
Yeah,
we talked about that one for a long time last time, so we don't need to justify why it's good.
But yeah, it is one of my favorite. This one's a throwback that you will that you may not. I always have a special warm place in my heart for this movie. It is The Musketeers.
Oh, that is a good one.
With Charlie Sheen, Keith Sutherland, and Chris O'Donnell, I think.
Yeah, that's good. I prefer The Man in the Iron Mask, but Musketeers is good too.
Though, what is his name?
Have you watched that? Have you watched The Man in the Iron Mask recently? Though it doesn't hold up as much as I was hoping it would. I saw it last year and I was like, oh, it's good. it gets a little cheesy.
Yeah.
Sorry. In the Three Musketeers,
Tim Curry.
it is
Tim
Tim
Curry.
Curry. Tim Curry. Yeah.
Tim
Oh
Curry.
yes.
Tim
He
Curry's
plays-
wonderful.
Yeah, that's a real. Oh yeah, he's the bad guy. Yeah, right.
Yeah, he plays the bad guy.
Yeah,
It always has a
that's such
special
good one.
place in my heart. Is it the best movie? No, but it always has a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
That's
You're just
good.
a
I
real
haven't
big.
seen-
You're just a big
haven't seen that in a
Alexander
long
Dumas fan.
time.
Then
Another one that Mexa will probably agree with me on this one is Pan's Labyrinth. I
Ooh.
really like Pan's Labyrinth.
oof.
That one. Yeah, that's tough.
That was before Guillermo got all weird.
Yes, he was. It was still a little weird.
He was weird. Like that movie's weird. Like what do you mean?
I'm
That
saying-
movie's the
I mean,
weirdest
that's
he has.
before he got like really
Woke?
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's before Hollywood mind virused him.
yeah. Because he would talk about sensitive object like Franco. You know,
I'm trying.
the
I'm
Franco
trying to.
Sumi.
I'm trying to come up with a Dune Hollywood parody. Where the fear is the mind killer. I must not fear. I must not woke. Woke is the mind killer.
That's good. I like that. Yeah,
But,
Pan's
yeah.
Labyrinth is good, but it's a little hard to watch in my opinion.
Oh, it's good.
I like it because
Yeah.
since I speak Spanish fluently, I get to see it in its original, like the actors, the actresses, the
Nice.
voice, and it's
Yeah.
really good. It's really
That one scene though is tough.
Yeah, the
Yes.
one with the dad
one-
in the bottle.
The one.
Yeah,
It's a.
That's tough. Like he deserved it, but man, that part,
Yeah.
that scene is tough to watch.
I mean, that's the whole point of I think what he tried to do. He tried
No,
to
definitely.
break all the boundaries that he could, and to see if people would like it, and people loved it for some weird reason. I to be honest, I don't know what people really love about the. Obviously, I know why people love the movie. The makeup alone, Jesus Christ, and the design of the costumes and the story is. I don't know. It's not his masterpiece. I don't think he has a masterpiece. I think he still has too much to offer, and he's wasting time in woke things. Yeah,
I agree with that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Netflix. Yeah, schmuck.
What are your thoughts on the 2011 Three Musketeers movie with Orlando Bloom and Mila Jovovich?
Orlando Bloom was in a Three Musketeers movie.
Yeah, he was, baby. It's horrible. It's
Yeah, that's
really,
bad.
really bad.
Is that the one
It's
that came
like
out? in
it's like
3D?
steampunk. It's like a steampunk Three
Oh,
Musketeers.
I did see that. It came out in 3D, didn't it?
I think so. And it's they
Dude,
have
that's
like
so cool.
they have like a hot air balloon gunship.
Yes.
Like
Oh, it's so bad.
dumb.
I gotta
Chris-
see that
it-
because I
it's-
didn't even know that.
It's
existed.
Mila Jovovich is as Milady. Orlando Bloom is a bad guy, I think.
Yeah, he
Ma-
does. He plays the bad guy.
Matthew
He plays
McFadden,
the-
Luke Evans, Christoph Waltz is in it too.
Is this the one that came out? There's one on Amazon too that they just came out with that was pretty good.
Probably.
No, the one you're talking about is a new one. It's
Oh,
called
you're-
D'Artagnan.
Yeah, that's the one that was made by a French filmmaker. I'm actually really looking forward to that. It's gonna
Yeah,
be
and
it's
Yeah,
gonna
that
be
was
two
actually really
films.
good.
Yeah.
So
I really liked it.
I didn't know it was out.
Yeah.
I saw I don't know if it's out yet.
It's
Hold on,
supposed
hold
to
on.
be a
There's a lot of
two-part film.
promos. There's a
Hold
lot
on,
of
let me
promos
see.
about
Let
it.
me see.
There's a lot about it. That movie.
I saw the trailer and I was really excited for that.
I
'cause
saw
it's-
that behind the
The
scenes.
Three
and
Musketeers,
the cinematography.
D'Artagnan. Is
Yeah,
that what we're talking about?
I don't know.
No, I think it was just called The Musketeer.
Season 1. The Musketeers season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
it's
one
my
was pretty
sister.
good.
They
That
came
was
out
pretty
with
good.
a TV show, The Musketeers,
It's the one with Ava Green in it.
years ago.
There's a 2023 version that's made totally in French, and Ava Green is Milady.
Oh yeah, no, the one for 2014 is the one that I was talking about.
Yeah, the
That one was
2014
pretty
is
good.
called The Musketeers, and it's a TV show. It's season 1, 2, and 3. I've seen season 1. It's decent. It's
Yeah,
a
it
fun
wasn't bad.
watch. It's not amazing, but it's a fun watch.
2014.
Yeah, it's a TV show. It's decent.
Wow.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
I like
Sword
it.
fighting and swashbuckling, and it's fun.
Yeah.
The
you know,
best representation of the Three Musketeers is the Disney one with with the duck and
Oh, yeah.
and Mickey
Oh,
Mouse.
the three
yeah,
Caballeros, I think it's.
hell, God knows
Oh.
what the name of that movie is, but such a great movie.
Okay, well,
Um,
I'll have to watch the TV show, but I'm also super excited for the French film.
Yeah, it looks really good. It does look really good.
The D'Artagnan one, it also
Yeah,
looks
the
decent.
con-
At
the-
least the
Wait, it's got Peter Capaldi in the
cinematography.
TV show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh, for
watch
real?
this.
Ooh.
It's
Yeah,
good.
Okay.
Peter
It's
Capaldi
good.
is awesome.
It does kind of get a little.
He's the
bit,
Cardinal.
Like, it does
Yeah.
kind of get a little. I want to say just bland because like suddenly who's the
They
priest?
stretch it out.
Who's the priest? Musketeer, whatever the priest's musketeer. His name.
Porthos or
No, Porthos
Aramis?
No,
Athos.
Artemis. Artemis, I think.
Artemis.
Aramis.
Aramis?
It's Porthos, Athos, and Aramis.
Aramis, yeah.
I don't remember
Aramis
which one's
Aramis
the
is
priest.
priest, right?
Okay. Yep.
And
Probably.
Aramis ends up like. Do you want me to spoil it for you?
Sure.
Aramis ends up
I know the
sleeping with
story.
the queen, and the queen
Well-
gets pregnant.
Yeah, that's canon.
And anyway,
That's the whole plot of the Man in the Iron Mask.
Yeah.
it's yeah, but the way they do it is weird. Anyway, yeah, the way they do it is just kind of anyway. Moving on. Gladiator is one of my top favorites.
It's a good pick.
Russell Crowe
Yes.
in Gladiator is really, really good.
Fantastic.
Was
Um,
that his
that's
opera prima? No, prima. No, his Magnus Opus.
yes,
Yeah, that's probably his best film.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would say Gladiator is one of his best films.
That's Joaquin Phoenix as well, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yes. Yeah.
it's got some
Jesus.
spicy incest.
When I was a kid, I
Well,
didn't get
as
that
they do.
scene. I was just thinking when I was like, well, not a kid, a young boy. When I saw that movie, I was like, damn, that girl was hot. But then she was doing stuff with her brother, and then I was like, wait, what? Wait, what?
Ridley Scott.
It's realistic.
I'm trying to decide
Yeah.
if it's Ridley Scott's best movie, and it probably is. But you got to contend with Blade Runner, Alien 1 and 2.
Jesus.
Like,
No,
No,
Gladiator.
Alien 2, or you mean Aliens, or Alien 2?
oh, Alien and Aliens. Yeah,
Yeah, Alien.
But Aliens was not really Scott, it was A.J.
Yeah.
Abrams, right?
he did the first two.
Oh, never mind.
Ridley Scott
No,
did the first two.
No way. No way.
Yes, way.
No way. Yes? Yes, way.
He did the first two. I know this.
Um,
And the third one was when it went bad. Am I wrong? Hold
Yeah.
on. Am I freaking wrong? He didn't do Alien 2?
I think the Aliens was
Oh my
either
gosh.
James Cameron.
No.
Was James Cameron. Yeah, the
James
Aliens.
Cameron took over for
Yeah.
2?
And
Frick!
you know why I know this?
No.
You know why I know this? I saw
I said the
Aliens.
wrong thing!
Dude, I saw Aliens 2 for the first time after watching Avatar, and I was thinking this is the same brain dead dialogues that is in Avatar 2. I was like, okay, this is James
Okay.
Cameron. And
Well, he made the first
My
Alien
God.
movie and Blade Runner, so but you're probably right. Gladiator is his magnum opus.
Gladiator is his prima donna.
But then there's Matchstick Men.
Yeah.
It doesn't hold up on a rewatch. I watched
Covenant.
it recently. It's not great.
Tombstone is a western.
Mhm.
That's a good one.
It's a little
I'm-
old. There's a few scenes that are
I'm-
kind of cheesy.
I'm your blueberry boy.
Your Huckleberry, he did amazing.
It's
in that
Huckleberry.
movie. Hucklebearer is the actual. Yeah, because that's
but everyone says Huckleberry. Yeah,
yeah, the Hucklebear.
and it's Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer is my favorite human. So
He did an amazing job. That was he did for Doc Holliday just a stunning job. Taken,
okay, first one, sure.
the
Taken's
first one,
good.
the
Yeah.
first one.
The other ones get silly.
Yeah, the other ones get stupid. Like 2 and 3 is just dumb. Like first one's good. Leave it at that.
Okay, the director's cut of the second movie is actually good.
I like the director's cut of the first movie.
The
I haven't
director-
seen the first cut of the second one.
The director's cut of the second movie fixes the problems with the second movie. I'll put
Does
it
it
there.
fix the problem
have-
with using grenades to locate where's
No, that part was
the
freaking
female
awesome.
captain?
Okay,
No,
that
that's
part was so
stupid.
cool.
You're
It was
chucking
so
grenades
cool.
out the window. It's like,
It
where
was
is the? There's a
so cool.
boom. He's that direction. It's
Okay,
so stupid.
it was dumb, but scientifically, it was cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're gonna blow everyone to smithereens.
Yes,
and
it
you're gonna
wasn't
be
a
dead.
practical
There's not gonna be
choice.
anyone to rescue.
It was ridiculous, but it was cool scientifically because it would have worked.
It was dumb.
Okay.
But the first
Anyway,
movie,
taking one.
first movie's good pick.
And then Schindler's List.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
I think everyone
That's
needs
hard
to
to
watch
watch.
that movie once.
Yeah.
Hard to watch.
It is hard to watch. I think everyone needs to have to watch that movie.
It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be hard to watch.
And on those notes, like The Boy in Striped Pajamas.
Yeah.
That one's harder to watch.
Have you ever seen or heard of Life is Beautiful?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my
So good.
gosh.
Life is
That's
Beautiful.
so good.
If you haven't seen Life is Beautiful, it's about the Holocaust. It's about a father trying to make a game for his son. They're both Jews, trying to make a game for his son
Yeah, it's wonderful.
to save him from the horrors of what's going on.
Jesus. No,
Any-
I cannot watch that kind of movies, bro. Those are just
it's
too.
so sad, and you'll weep.
Yeah.
It's
really-
probably
Oh, it's
probably a
stupid.
more Life is Beautiful is probably more important than Schindler's List.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
They're both
Yes.
really like you should definitely watch both of them.
well.
At least
Schindler's List is a true story, but
Yeah,
yeah,
It's-
Life
yeah,
is Beautiful is so good.
a very good movie.
And
Mark
I
Clark's
would
recommending Cinderella Man, which I have not seen. That one's Ron
that
Howard.
My
So
kids
good.
are gonna
It's
come
pretty
running in
good.
here.
Dude, Ron Howard used to make some real
good.
good stuff.
I was
been a
going to bring
while.
that up because, yeah, Cinderella Man was one of my favorites, too. Good choice,
Yeah,
Mark Clark.
I haven't watched that one, but I get it confused.
It's all about the Great Depression.
I get Cinderella Man confused with $1 Million Baby, which I have seen, and that's a good movie.
Yeah, it's all about basically how one man basically like
Uncle Alan.
survives the Great Depression for his family
Yeah,
you see Alan.
by
I've heard it's great.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, Ron Howard really had some bangers, but it's been a long time since he's made something good.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh, I got to tell the story though about how I kidnapped my sister. So we watched the first Taken movie in theaters
Oh yeah.
with our whole family, and I thought it would be fun to have a hands-on lesson
Demonstration.
for the kids. So literally, like coming out of the theater, we stopped at Smith's, and they were buying something, and I just like snuck up behind the car, ran up, grabbed my little sister Tina, and just ran. And people got upset. But I was telling Tina after I got away, I was like, Tina, it's just me. I'm playing a joke. And she was like, oh, okay. My mom was not happy.
I
But
guess.
in retrospect, my young sisters learned a very valuable lesson that day. And they still talk about it. They're like, oh yeah, remember that time when we realized how easy it was to get abducted coming out of Taken?
Yep. Good on you, bro.
Yeah.
All right, last one since my family just walked through the door and I'm gonna have to be a dad.
Okay.
These ones will be. fun.
Martina's recommending Cuties. That Netflix movie about the little girl strippers. So
I think she's referring to Corwin's cute kids.
I'm hoping that's what it is.
Jesus Christ the Lord.
A Christmas Carol. Will
mm,
shoot your eye
Which-
out.
Christmas
you mean a
Story.
Christmas Story.
Yeah, sorry.
yeah.
Well, like
Good one.
Christmas Carol, there's like 40
apologize.
bajillion
Yeah,
adaptations.
it's like
I was about to
Christmas-
ask
a
you which
Christmas
one.
Story.
Christmas
We're gonna
Story.
get
Okay, I
into
got
the
you.
Carol here in a second, but A Christmas Story is one of my favorite of all time
it's a good one.
movies.
Did you
and
watch
then-
the sequel? I have not
A
seen it.
Summer Story.
No, no, they came up with
They,
a Christmas
they made a Christmas Story
a
too.
Christmas
Story
story.
Story, yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, it's
It's
called
like
a
they're growing up.
Christmas Story. Christmas is what it's called. I can't bring myself to watch it.
I'm not going to ruin a Christmas story.
But they brought everyone back. It might be good because it wasn't made like by a production company. It was like a fan project.
Yeah.
Like
I haven't
crowdfunded.
seen it yet. I've got it on my watch list, and I'm trepidatious because the original is again so quotable and fun.
And then my last two are A Muppet's Treasure Island.
Yes, yes.
Treasure
That's
Island
phenomenal.
and A Muppet's Christmas Carol. Those are Muppet's
Yes.
Christmas Carol, Muppet's
Nice.
Treasure Island.
Any
is-
Muppet.
Not any Muppets, but yes, Muppets.
Muppets, yeah.
Muppets.
I'm there with you on Treasure Island. I have a personal grudge against Muppet Christmas Carol because it's not the best version of the Christmas Carol, which is Scrooge,
Yes.
the musical.
So
The
good.
musical
And, the-
rendition of
and,
Scrooge.
and no one knows about Scrooge because everyone's seen the Muppet Christmas Carol and like, oh, the music's so good. I'm like, no, it sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, watch Scrooge.
I disagree. I love the Muppets Christmas Carol.
It's
My
like
kids are going to
No.
grow up on it.
It's like the
It's good. It's
1970s
good, but
version.
it's prevented so many people from watching the better version of the film.
Alan, we watch that every Christmas.
Good.
So yeah, those are my. That is my list of amazing movies.
Good
I could
picks,
say
Roland.
Napoleon. I could say Napoleon Dynamite. I
That's
hated
good.
that movie. That is the one. That is. I have walked out of theaters in two movies in my life. One was 10,000 BC with Jack Black. I think it was.
Oh,
No,
No.
wrong film.
One.
That's year one.
Year one.
Year one. It was
10,000 BC was
a
the
similar time period. But
yeah.
year one.
Decent
I
movie.
walked out of that movie. I was
Yeah, that
It's
was
bad.
bad.
vulgar,
It's
vile.
very bad.
It is. I walked out of that movie.
I love how bad that movie is too.
And the other movie I walked out of was Napoleon Dynamite. The first time I
Jesus.
saw it in theaters,
Wow.
I was like, "This is crap. I'm walking out. I'm leaving."
Yeah.
I saw it a couple months later because my friend rented it when it came out on video, and I was like, "Oh, I've got to sit and watch." That's when I fell in love with Napoleon.
It's good.
I watched it. The second time I watched it, I was just like, "This is actually, this is really good."
And it's not even Jared Hess's best movie.
It was his cheapest movie.
It's good. But you got Nacho Libre, which is even
Budget was
better.
like, I think his budget was only what was the budget for?
It was like $10. I talked to him. I met him. I watched the movie with him, with the director of the film.
Oh, did you?
Yes. Yeah, he was friends with some people in our hometown, and our whole family got to watch it with the director, and it's fantastic. I think he said it was like a couple $1,000.
Napoleon Dynamite completed their production with an estimated. It was more than that. It was a lot more than that. An estimated $116,000 was the total budget.
Okay, yeah, that's dirt cheap for a movie.
Yeah, that's and it earned 46 million in gross.
Yeah.
I spent $100,000 and no one. He funded it.
Yeah, it's great. But if you like it, I love Jared Hess. Okay, and Napoleon Dynamite is far from his best movie because Nacho Libre is great. Everyone's heard of that one, but the ones that you haven't heard of are Gentlemen Broncos. Is so freaking good. Okay, just imagine.
No.
Just imagine. Big Fat Liar, but on cocaine. Okay, it's really good. And
I do not like that one.
What's the name of that one? What's the name of that
Gentlemen
one?
Broncos.
Gentlemen Broncos,
love it.
yeah.
I love it so much. And also the newer one was the one with the archaeologist who's finding religious relics and faking religious relics. It's really, really good.
I don't think I even saw that one.
It's phenomenal.
Anyway, that's my list. I've got to go be a dad because I haven't seen my kids.
Don Verdine. Highly recommend Don Verdine.
Yeah. Oh, and yo,
Right.
Corwin, before you go, Corwin, watch. You like movies in Spanish? You watch the movies of Luis Estrada. Luis Estrada, like the movie Inferno, or El Infierno,
Mm,
I've heard of that one.
yeah.
the law of Herodes or the La Ley de Herodes,
Okay.
um, and the final one is La Dictadura Perfecta, the perfect dictatorship. And they all, if you want to know how Mexico is, that's literally it. Like and they are comedies, so they are funny movies in theory, but it's because the situation is so dire that you are like, why am I laughing at this? This is horrible. I just saw someone get beheaded or something like that. Obviously, watch it alone. You cannot watch them, in the
Well, that one,
company of your family.
the last one came out in 2014. It's pretty
Yeah,
I
recent.
yeah.
will. I
And the last
will.
one is the most accurate. Is they show beheaded people. Well, they don't show the beheading; they show the bodies. Well, not
Right.
real bodies, but you know what I mean. And
It's
they
a
show all the
comedy,
stuff.
guys.
It's a
Oh,
comedy. It's a comedy, and
I'll,
it's a
There's
I'll,
funny. It's a funny comedy. That's the most interesting about that guy is that he makes these three movies, and all the movies he has they are about the horrible situation that we have in Mexico, and he tries to make fun of it because it's hilarious how dumb it is. How stupid it is the situation that we live in, and it really literally is just a vivid image of what Mexico is, and the irony behind all the things that
Yeah,
happens here.
I
I
will.
will
They are
definitely, I
great
will
movies.
definitely look
I'll
up
watch
Lucius
that. I'll
Trailer.
watch some of
Watch
those.
if you cannot watch all of them, just watch El Infierno. It's his best movie by far.
It's called Hell
By
in English,
Yeah,
basically.
Yep.
exactly. And then you're gonna get like curious about his movies, and you can watch the Law of Herodes, and then you can watch the Perfect Dictatorship. Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like it's free on Peacock
Oh
and
baby,
Amazon
I'm giving it a
Sweet.
shot.
I'll
in the
watch it.
US.
Thanks,
Yeah.
thanks for
At
the
least Inferno. Yeah, watch that.
recommendations. I'll
Yeah,
watch
but watch
them.
it. Do not watch it in front of kids.
Oh,
That's
I don't.
some
Yeah.
some
Usually,
gruesome
how I
movies.
watch shows is in my downtime while I'm at work.
Yeah,
And
the
I
gruesome
gotta keep
movie.
myself awake. I just put it on like the little corner of my screen, and so it's just
Yeah,
I'll
trust
watch
me, you're not gonna be able to fall asleep with watching
it. Okay.
that one. Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. It was fun. I will
Nice.
keep
Yeah.
watching on my phone and comment. But those
Okay.
are my movie lists. You can't beat
Thanks,
Muppet
Corwin.
Island.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, that's a good list.
Yeah, good list.
Treasure Planet.
Ooh, that was good too.
You cannot tell me that when Treasure
No,
Island,
Muppet Treasure Island is better.
Island
I
comes out,
guarantee.
Oh,
and you hear
Treasure
that
Planet.
you hear that beginning theme song of "Shiver My Timbers."
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good.
You can't tell. Yo, Evo, like
Yeah.
I got cabin fever.
I agree. The Muppets Treasure Island is the best Muppets
So
By far.
good.
anything by far. Yeah.
love let us here. Yep,
good.
yep.
Yeah.
Or when they say "boom shakalaka," it's "boom shakalaka." I don't know. If
Boom
you
shakalaka.
Oh, boom shakalaka.
Yeah.
With the pigs. Oh, I love it. It's amazing. It's phenomenal.
Nice.
All right, go be with your family, man.
See ya.
Get out of here.
Good choice.
SG recommends Jason and the Argonauts. I have
That's
not seen
good.
it yet, but it's a classic. And
Oh no, we've seen that,
Amazing.
bro. We've rented that so many times.
I've never seen it.
Oh
That's
yeah,
that's the amazing stop motion skeletons and stuff, right?
yeah. We saw
Maybe I
it at the
have to-
same time
I'm-
as the original Clash of the Titans. It's
I don't
It's
remember.
amazing.
I don't remember watching Jason and the Argonauts, but
watch
I know
it. You'll
I've,
remember.
I know I've seen parts of it, but it's
Yeah.
a classic.
It's good.
I hate the show Narcos is the most BS bullshit. Like,
It romanticizes
oh my
it a
god,
lot.
I
The
hate
pro-
it. I hate it. Everyone that is not a freaking lunatic in Mexico hates this show because, like you said, it romanticizes a
Mhm.
problem that we've been dealing for like 70 years. And
It's like from the perspective of a gringo, like it is a well-made show.
yeah,
But
obviously.
the problem is that
And trust me,
Yeah.
Narcos Mexico. Well, the Narcos show, the original one in Colombia, that is pretty accurate. Well, not that accurate, but at least it tries harder than Narcos Mexico, which is just
Yeah.
a mockery. It's a freaking mockery, and I hate it because everyone in Mexico is like, "Oh, Narcos, it's such a good show." Literally, go f yourself with a stick broom.
yeah, the cartel is
Broomstick.
they're bad. They're very bad.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare, and Yeah, I hate those kind of shows. That's why, for example, like Dictadura Perfecta and Inferno, they show so much gruesome things that you get traumatized by it. You really truly see, holy moly, this is scary. Like this is scary, and it's a funny situation. Like the situations are funny, but they are so dire that they are scary, and that's the beauty of those movies. And that's actually, if you want me to start just going with my list, because those movies are kind of in my list, but I want to recommend you movies that you don't know,
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
and that I, for any reason that I know and that I haven't heard any of you mention. Um, First, the Mexican movies, the easiest part of it. Like I said, the filmography of Luis Estrada. That's Luis Estrada. I don't know, whatever spell that. E S T
ESTRADA.
ADA, exactly.
Yep.
And his full
That's
filmography
it,
is
Mark.
just
That's it.
three.
That's it.
He has way more movies, but just watch those threes: El Infierno or Hell.
And the
Um,
perfect dictatorship.
the Perfect Dictatorship and the Law of Herodes, or I don't know how you guys pronounce it.
Um,
But whatever. The eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth. That's the day
Hmm.
of
and
Herodes in Mexico. Well, that's what we say, that's the Mexican saying. The other
Herod.
movie that I wanted to
Herod.
share that is Mexican.
It's
Yeah,
Herod.
Herod.
The law of Herod.
Oh, right. Oh,
But
nice.
I think they just. I
Herod's
don't think
Law
it.
is the
I
English
don't think
title.
they translate the
Oh,
title in for the
yeah,
United
yeah.
States.
Probably not.
Sometimes they just leave it
It's
in
it's
Spanish.
weird. We
Half of
don't.
it. It's funny
Yeah.
looking at it. Half of his movies they have like the English translation, and half of them are just still in Spanish. So
Yeah, it's the weirdest part, and it happens the same way backwards. We had the worst, literally the worst translations to movies. Like, there's a movie that I don't even know what they are, because the translation is so departed from the actual title. Is insane, but whatever. The other
yeah.
movie is called Red Dawn, Rojo
Ooh,
Amanecer.
Ooh, that's a
oh
great
yeah.
one.
That's
Oof,
great.
that movie,
The
Good
dude.
one.
the
Yeah, the
original, not the remake,
original.
not the
No, no, no,
remake.
no.
Yeah.
But you, what do you mean? I'm not talking about the American movie. I'm talking there's a Mexican movie.
Okay,
You
Oh,
haven't seen that. No, you haven't. Trust me, you haven't seen that.
okay,
Trust
because
me,
Red
you.
Dawn is like one of
uh,
my favorite
yeah,
movies
yeah,
of all
yeah.
time.
Yes.
But no, this one is just called. Yeah, Luis Estrada. That's the one. Yeah, that's how it's spelled. Um, yeah, the Rojo Amanecer. There was a massacre in Mexico about the students in 1968.
Okay, yeah, you have to type it in
Um,
Spanish to
yeah,
find it.
yeah, exactly. Type it in Spanish is rojo, like the color red, amanecer, like dawn, but in
It
Spanish.
means Red Dawn, but don't look up Red
Exactly.
Dawn because then you'll
Mhm.
find the other great movie, Red Dawn.
Or look it up. Probably Mexico. I don't know if how they made that
It's
translation.
free
Yeah,
on YouTube right now. It
yeah,
hasn't
yeah, yeah,
been.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's a movie with actually decent actors that went and made really great things about with their careers. Yeah, not the Patrick
Good
Swayze one.
movie. Good movie.
Great movie, great movie. I love that. I love be a Wolverine. Yeah, but um yeah, the thing with that movie is about the massacre and the events that happen, and Jesus Christ, that movie is impactful. If,
mm,
if if you really want to see something that is going to make you change your perspective on what life is, and it's something that happened, and that's the most important thing about that movie, is that something that really happened, and all the things that are backed by photographs. And there, I don't know if you heard of this woman. Her name is Elenia Poniatowska, and she's one of the greatest writers in Mexico, and she was in that shooting, in that massacre where they killed thousands of students from colleges, from the Mexican college. And it was such a disgusting thing that they made. And the thing is that the Mexican government was the one that was in charge of that
Yeah.
massacre. They basically, the president was the one that gave the order to kill all those students. That guy is currently obviously in jail. Well, not in jail. Mexico is such a stupid place, but he's been doing life in prison, but in his own house. He has domestic arrest or whatever. And his name is Luis Echeverria. Well, he was vice president. Yeah, Rojo. Yeah, rojo amanecer is like dawn in Spanish. If you want, just
I got it.
type dawn in Spanish and it's amanecer. Breaking Dawn. You can type Breaking Dawn and the title in Spanish is Amanecer, or Twilight, whatever. But yeah, that movie is there's so much blood. I never seen so much blood in my
Oh,
life, and it's not a Quarantino movie, and it's not like oof, it's perfect movie. It's such a Jesus Christ, what that movie, gut wrenching. That's the word. And the other movie, which is a way lighter story, and actually it's just like a short or a short movie, and it's called The Violin, El Violin. Is a movie about the guerrillas with the they were going that there was the narco movement, and then was a counter movement that they tried to do. That was they were called, well, they were groups, military paramilitary groups that they were trying to combat the cartels, and they almost did, but they got corrupted because in Mexico everyone gets corrupted when they get some power or money. So they got corrupted. So this movie is about the everyday people. um there's this guy that plays a violin. He's an old man, old violinist. The only thing he has in his life is his violin, and I think yeah, that's the only thing he has. And Jesus Christ, what happens to this guy in the movie is oof, again is, and everything is based in truth. You can see the movement. Everything was the way it happened. Like these guerrilleros come to your town, you're gone. You either go or they're going to come and R word you. I cannot say the word obviously. Or they going to R word your females and then kill your males or make them your slaves and whatever. All those kind of things that you could see in movies like The Tears of the Sun. Great movie as well. Actually, is one of my favorite. Actually, added to the list. Tears of the Sun with Bruce Willis. Jesus Christ, I never cried with so much with
that's
that
a good
movie.
one too.
Oh my god, that movie! And the thing that I saw these movies when I was really young, so they had such a brutal impact on me, and they are like right, like tattooed in my brain. Those scenes, those specific
I
scenes.
haven't seen Tears of the Sun in a long time. I need to
Yeah,
watch.
yeah, yeah. I cannot watch it without crying. Like it's just
Oh no, wait,
oof,
I'm thinking
that's
of
different.
Empire of the Sun.
Yeah, no,
What's
Tears of the
what's
Sun
Tears of the Sun?
Pirates of the Sun is also a great movie, but Tears of the Sun is just
also if it's got the sun in it, it's
Yeah. Oh
yeah.
right, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
moving forward. That was Mexican movies that I want to don't
have you
watch.
seen? I'm curious. Have you seen No? The Mexican, or it's not Mexican, it's Chilean. It's about the campaign against Pinochet.
No, I.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, I want to know more about Pinochet. I want to know about more dictators in Latin America. It's just that
Mhm.
Mexico is damn, yeah. I mean, I've narrowed my knowledge of those things with Mexico and Cuba a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
If you want like a Spanish film that's like a little bit
Oh.
more accessible, I'd watch No. That it's
Hmm.
it's pretty good.
Oh, and
Now is that no in
the
English
movie
or
is
no in Spanish?
It's No in Spanish.
Okay.
It's
no,
spelled the same.
no. Yeah, you gotta code the O. No,
It's got
just no.
it's got Gael Bernal in it, who's a great actor. So
I was gonna say, don't watch any of those movies with Gabriel Garcia Bernal, Diego Luna. I mean, they're great movies. Don't get me wrong, but they gave you the wrong idea about what Mexican
yeah,
movies or Mexican cinema is. I hate those movies because they were such an example and pioneers with their movies
right.
that everything after that was just
Copied
the
him.
same, was just a try to copy that,
Well,
and it's just
one
disgusting.
you've got the Motorcycle Diaries, which is it tells the wonderful story of the blameless wonderful man Che Guevara, and conveniently leaves out the ending of his story, uh,
Yeah.
which is not good. So
Mhm.
Yep.
Let's just say that. Um, there was another movie. Silencio. No, Voces Inocentes, Innocent Voices. It's about the Salvador, the the Civil War, and they had, well, with the creation of MS-13, and the
Oof.
problem is that they were recruiting kids, really, 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 really young kids. You
Don't
were
you have any
12 years
fun
old.
movies? Aren't you gonna suggest any
Yeah, yeah,
fun
yeah, yeah. I'm
movies?
getting to that. I'm just cutting. It's just that Mexican movies are just so depressive. I love. The thing is that I love that depressive part of
No,
Mexican
you got
cinema is the most beautiful part of Mexican cinema. I
Yeah.
hate, I hate new Mexican cinema. I hate it with all my heart because it's just pure and awful garbage.
yeah.
There was a movie that destroyed Mexican cinema, and it's called Nosotros los Nobles, we the nobles, something like that in Spanish. Nobles is the last name of this family. We are the nobles, and everyone tried to copy that freaking type of movie, comedy, disgusting movie. Don't even watch it. But if you want to know what Mexican cinema is nowadays, that's the answer. But yeah, going into way more fun movies and way, lighter themes, that I wanted to see. And the other thing is that was my Mexican part. My movie lover part, it just loves American cinema and American filmmaking, and also obviously British filmmaking, but way more American, to be honest. Just let's be fair. And I was getting, I studied music, so I had a class
Yeah.
of music in movies. So obviously we watch, the Kubrick and the, I don't, to be honest, I only remember Kubrick of big um blockbuster or known
Hmm.
movies. And I wanted to start, like, for each of my favorite directors, or for each great director, and just have
Yeah.
one movie, and
Yeah.
because that's easier, and that narrows it down. So for example, Kubrick, I
That's a hard one to
yeah,
choose
that's
from.
a hard one. That's the hardest one, because I love Space Odyssey, just because I'm a Star Wars fan. And
Hmm.
that was like, Jesus Christ, this is 3 hours of Star Wars, but with a way more complex story. And I
It
don't know.
does a
I don't
lot.
know.
It's
I don't
great.
know. And the music there is just oof, oof. He was a genius. But Clockwork Orange is just something that I watched when I was in a part in my life where it meant some, I don't know, like when I was getting derailed by, drugs and things like that. And you see that movie and you're like, when they killed that woman, that moment, like, it was so impactful for me. I was like, Jesus. I mean, obviously, no one would get to that far. Maybe you're drinking milk, like their milk, probably freaking bad souls. Um, but it was like, okay, and then everything he suffers is just like the perfect analogy of the consequences of your actions. The consequences of uh, living recklessly and not giving a damn about what you do affects others. And that's like that's the only thing why I love way more that movie way more than the Space Odyssey, because
Yeah.
Space Odyssey, okay, it has the message, but and it has way more philosophical, existential
Mhm.
message, but this just was a personal one for me, and it's like, yeah, Clockwork Orange. I also love Barry Lyndon. I tell you, I've seen too much of. I was shot. When I was a kid, I saw it for the wrong reasons, nudity, nudity. But when I saw it as a man, it was really freaking revealing. And that was
Have you,
when I was like, I got like a freaky conspiracy theory. I still like a conspiracy theorist, but not anymore, because all the conspiracy theories we believe that were conspiracy theories became
turns
true.
out
So
they're all real.
yeah, it turns out they are real.
Yep.
It turns out Kubrick was, basically saying, hey, this is what we're doing.
Yep.
uh
Yeah. Have you seen Doctor Strangelove?
I am about to see that. The
That's
thing is,
probably my favorite Kubrick
dude,
film.
is that the thing is that Doctor Strangelove and Eyes Wide Shut are movies that I really had to pay so much attention to them. And I was shot took me like 2 weeks to really
Yeah.
watch it through it all and see every detail and watch every
Yeah.
video that I could.
Doctor
And I want to
Strangelove is
watch.
really weird, but it's fun.
It's so
I like weird. I like weird. I love
the
Pan's Labyrinth because of the weirdness of it.
Yeah.
s- uh, sometimes I will just randomly remember the last line of that movie and just start laughing, just laughing by myself, chuckling, just Mein Führer, I can walk.
Oh,
It's
talking
so
about
good. It's so
yeah, talking
Yeah.
about comedies. I love Chaplin. I don't know why I
Chaplin.
love
Oh,
Chaplin.
Charlie
Maybe
Chaplin's
he
good. Yeah.
looks like a funny Hitler. I don't know. No, but I love Chaplin, and my favorite movie of Chaplin is Modern Times. Modern
That's a good
Times.
one.
Modern Times. The
That's
love
probably my
story
favorite of
is
his too.
yeah.
Yeah.
The love story, the effect, the practical effects, the comedy, the music. He wrote all the music, which is amazing. And the fact that he makes the movie with his wife, you can tell that they love each other. I mean, I know she was 15 at the time. Okay, I know that. I know that they married when she was 15. I'm not gonna say anything else. Okay, he messed up. Yeah, it was another time. It was another time in Mexico, dude. In Mexico, they could sell you to a 40-year-old male if you were 15 years old for a cow. Now, I'm not even
yeah.
kidding. It's called a dote.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something like that. When you had to give the cow or the sheep or the horse for the girl for the 15-year-old girl.
I've actually watched a lot of silent films.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Chaplin's great.
Chaplin, Modern Times, and the other one, so I had the list, but I lost it. Damn
The,
it.
the one where he plays Hitler is
Ah, yeah.
the Great Dictator or something like that.
The
Yeah, the
great
Great Dictator.
the great
Yeah.
terror, yeah. And that speech, Jesus Christ, yeah. And the fact that he did that, it took a lot of nerve. And yeah,
It's
and
not
Chaplin is my favorite one. And going through that, oh, go ahead, finish your thought.
it's not Chaplin, but Buster Keaton, the general,
The General's really good.
is
Oh,
one of the
Steamboat Willie, I think, is another one. Is fantastic from Buster Keaton.
the general has one of the most impressive stunts of all time that he does in real life.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. He's
yeah.
riding on the front of a train, and there's um, what are they called? The wood that they use on train tracks. The big like 6x6
Railroad ties.
railroad ties. Yeah, there's a railroad tie
Yeah.
that's derailed, and in
Yeah.
real time he picks up. It's obviously not a full. It's a fake railroad tie because those are really heavy. But he's got like a balsa wood railroad tie that looks like a real one. He picks it up and chucks it at the one that's fallen and knocks it out of the way. And he almost died so many times.
He broke his neck on that film, and he didn't
Yeah.
realize it till he was making his next film. he fractured a disc in his neck or something.
I don't believe that was in the general, but he
No,
did
it
break.
was. It was in that railroad scene.
No, it wasn't in that scene. The scene where he broke his neck is one where he's jumping off of a building with like a rope.
Gotcha.
But yeah, he broke his neck.
Yeah, the General's really good. My favorite is the Steamboat Bill Jr. I think is the name of it. That one's really good.
Nice. Yeah, going to that, same, like, okay, Chaplin. Now the next like comedy guy that I like or that I used to like and then I didn't really like anymore was Woody Allen. And the thing with Woody Allen is that I was such a fan of Woody Allen
Yeah.
when I was studying cinema because he loves jazz and I was like going through my jazz era. So every movie was just okay. I'm going to listen to one hour and 30 minutes of great jazz, and that's it. That was basically why I was watching his movies. But there was one in no three in particular that I would like to recommend. The first one is Sleepers. Nobody knows this movie. A Sleeper. It's about a guy that gets frozen and goes to the future basically. So he gets defrozen in the future, and it's just hilarious. It's like and it's pretty Chaplin. If you like Chaplin, you're going to absolutely love this movie.
Is Woody Allen?
And yeah, it's Woody Allen. It was the first movie that he wrote, directed, and starred.
Because there's another
Um,
movie called Sleepers, which is also fantastic.
no, a sleeper. Just with I thought it was a
Sleeper.
sleepers because I saw sleepers and I thought that, okay, this is not Woody Allen, but
Sleepers
it's
is
also
also
good.
good.
It's also
and,
good.
and
Yeah,
will ruin Frankie Valley for you.
but a
That movie
sleeper,
is depressing.
yeah, a sleeper singular is such a great movie. It's not depressing at all. It's such a fun movie. It's like I don't know. It was pretty advanced for the time. It was the 60s, so it was pretty advanced for its time. I had a lot of depictions of what we will later see of what space or what the future would look like, and it was such a small budget movie. You can see the small budget, but they did the best what that they could. It's just a small film with some charisma. Just I don't know, some small thing that you can see. Okay, I know this movie that nobody knows. That's a fun joy, right?
This is a good recommendation. If you like Chaplin, Abbott and Costello, they weren't silent filmmakers. It's
All I know is all about the who the joke.
Oh yeah,
The
who's on first?
Who's
yeah,
on
who's
first?
first base? Who?
that'd be a little tougher to watch because a lot of their jokes are like plays on the English language, like so it might be hard to follow some of that. But yeah, they've got some
Yeah.
good stuff.
No, I love word plays. No,
Wordplay.
word on jokes. Yeah.
The
And the movie about the Mexico, yeah, the students that got killed in Mexico were the 43 students of Ayotzinapa. The 43 probably the name of the movie 43. Not not get confused with Project 43. This is a movie about a bunch of kids that got killed by the government again. I got kidnapped and then probably burned or buried in some common pit. But yeah, that I know that movie, and yeah, it's more of a documentary, but it's also kind of a movie.
Mhm.
Yeah, Mexican movie is depressing.
the
Depressing.
movie where Buster Keaton breaks his neck was in Sherlock Junior.
Mm.
He's doing a stunt
Oh,
where he
okay.
jumps off of a building and grabs one of those like railroad crossing arms and lowers himself into a
Yeah.
car.
Huh.
The other movie that everybody loves from Woody Allen for some reasons is Annie Hall. I don't I
I think
don't
that's
like
the
Annie
only
Hall.
Woody Allen movie I've seen.
I'm
Yeah,
not the biggest fan of Annie Hall. If you want to watch better Annie Hall, watch Manhattan with the beautiful, gorgeous Meryl Streep when she was young, and oh my god, she was a beautiful woman. And still
I
kind of
think
is a beautiful woman.
I think my favorite Woody Allen movie is Ants.
Did he direct that?
He
He did
started it.
this
He did the voice.
the voice, and I think he also did the script, but don't quote me on that. Or
Better than A Bug's
partial.
Life. Fight
And the other movie that is a comedy from this guy is called Crooks. Let me actually look for the real name of the movie.
Is this another Woody Allen one, or
Crooks is the Woody Allen and it's one of the funniest comedies he has. To be honest, I don't know if it's the funniest comedy he has. Small Time Crooks, 2000
Oh
2000 from the movie 2000 from the year
I think
2000s.
no, that's a great
yeah, I
movie.
think I've seen
Great
that one.
movie. They try to steal a bank. It just it's such a fun ride. It goes
Don't they end up making
complete.
cookies?
Yeah, it's complete. It
Yeah.
goes completely out of the rails, and such a fun movie. Yeah, such
Small
a
time crooks. Small time
yeah.
crooks is
Small Time Crooks
great
is,
movie.
and that's my favorite. Like I said, in between Sleeper and Small Time Crooks, um, I think Small Time Crooks is the one that I would really say, okay, you want to really watch what Woody Allen can do in comedy because he's not that good of a drama writer, but his comedy is great. And the other director that I really, really, really love is what's the guy? Oh, Polanski.
Oh yeah.
The thing with Polanski is that I don't like his, his regular things. I like really
Yeah.
weird things like Repulsion. I don't know if you have seen Repulsion or have heard of that. Repulsion is a really, really weird story, but I don't know. It's like horror and suspense, and but there's nothing supernatural about it. It's literally just a woman that is suffering from probably a mental illness cause of for a traumatic event that I cannot say. It's the R word again. I don't know why these likes love the R word, but they just do. Freaking
Well, I mean, he was a pedophile, so
yeah.
make he made some really good movies. But
Yeah, he made some
I mean,
really good freaking movies, but
coming right off the heels of Woody Allen too. I mean,
what is with them?
it seems
What
Mexa. It
the hell
seems
is
like you've got a theme going on with your movies. Yeah, told you.
Oh, and the other one that I
Chinatown
love,
though, is such a
yeah,
phenomenal film.
Chinatown is great. One of my favorite one of my favorite horror movies as well is obviously Rosemary's Baby, but that's just like like it's
Mhm.
I don't know, it's like the standard, it's a standard of or horror. But my favorite movie of this guy, Repulsion, was just like a movie that I watched when I was like trying to watch the whole art cinema thing, like
Right.
my favorite movie is The Pianist. And the thing with The
Yeah.
Pianist is that I saw it
Yes.
when I was 12 or 11 or something like that, and it traumatized me when I was a kid. I was literally I was not as scared from Chucky or any of those. I was scared about the burning bodies in the freaking pianist. Like I was afraid of the burning bodies and the famine and the kids dying in the wall. That movie is
It's not
amazing.
happy.
It's not
Yeah.
happy. Yeah, I mean, I was always a depressive kid, so I was always watching these kind of depressive movies. Nowadays, I really love laughing, so I usually spend most of my time watching comedies or really bad movies or really bad shows. That's why I love making this show, because you make me watch really bad shows and make fun of them, and I just love doing that. But yeah, The
I didn't
Pianist.
realize Roman Polanski made Oliver Twist.
Hmm. That's also a good movie. I
I
mean,
don't know if I've
obviously,
seen
probably the
that
musical.
version.
The music.
I think
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen
So
I think
I
I've seen
saw
Oliver, not Oliver
that's
Twist.
that's the only version that I actually saw. The Oliver Twist, the
The
from
mute
Roman Polanski. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Roman Polanski one.
because I've
And
seen the
I
musical
I
version.
didn't even know that there was a
Mhm.
musical about it. I just saw the movie and I was like, okay, this is a pretty interesting movie about a orphan with a pretty
Yeah,
sad life.
it's a good
Yeah, the
story.
musical is good.
Yeah, and okay, so Polanski, yeah, we got rid of the kitty fiddlers. We got rid of the kitty fiddlers.
Yeah.
um, Another movie that's probably nobody knows. Um, and I saw it again in music school. It was oh, my cats are fighting. Just 1 second. Okay, they stop fighting. Ivan the Terrible, Part One and Part
Oh,
Two. Ivan the Terrible is a 1944 movie. It's the first movie ever to be colorized, and the
Hmm.
only colorized part is just a scene of a dance of a song composed by one of my favorite composers of when I was of the neo romanticism, Prokofiev. Jesus, guy, that guy was crazy. He's not as crazy as Shostakovich or as crazy as Stravinsky, but he just has like, I don't know, some je ne sais quoi in his music. And yeah, Ivan the Terrible, he made it, and the important part of that movie is that Ivan the Terrible was made as a special request from either Lenin. I think Lenin was the one that made the special request. He was like, okay, we need to make a movie. The Americans are winning with their movies about dancing in the rain.
Mhm.
singing in the freaking rain.
So we're gonna combat that
Yeah,
with
we're gonna die with
Ivan the Terrible.
Ivan the Terrible, the Tsar. We got a strength of Russia. You got to, and they basically incarcerated. Prokofiev was incarcerated by that time because he was Jewish. So he was a slave and basically of the Lenin and the USSR. I mean, he was. I don't know if he was a USSR, but Soviet Union. Um, and yeah, that's the most important part of the movie, the colorized part. And I don't know, is I had a laugh with the movie. It's an interesting movie. The music is beautiful, and the cinematography is gonna blow your mind away. You're gonna say like, am I watching like Zack Snyder with Ridley Scott with something like Kubrick is insane. That guy Sergey something, I don't remember. Sergey Einstein. Yeah. That guy is insane. But yeah, Ivan the Terrible, specifically the first one um is really good. The second one is, I don't know, it's probably better for a first watch or
Yeah.
pleasure watcher. Alexander Nevsky is also another movie that he directed, and that's also a great epic. If you
He also
love.
did Battleship Potemkin is another very popular one from him. I've seen bits and pieces of that one. I haven't seen the full thing, but yeah, he's a good filmmaker.
Yeah, he's insane. I mean, for the time, and to think that he was basically doing movies, because they they were telling him, if you either do these movies or you're gonna get, I don't know what they were doing to Jewish people in Russia. I need to see Fiddler in the Roof.
Mhm.
um, but yeah. I just love that movie. It's such a piece of history. Another movie that I love is Petrushka. It's a ballet made by Stravinsky. It's my favorite ballet. I hate ballet. I hate regular ballet. I hate Shostakovich. Fuck that guy. With the freaking Swan Lake and all those things. They ruin ballet for me because I love the movement and I love the beautiful women, but I don't know but then you see Stravinsky, and that guy was insane. That guy was doing that guy was either dropping some hard drugs or smoking some opium, but that guy was in some like, or he was autistic or something weird like that. But
Speaking of drugs, I just remember I just went to the dentist. To get some like major work done. I have fake teeth right now. These are all plastic, and I'm getting the replacements put in next week. But if you ever have the opportunity, the best movie to watch while on drugs, which I don't partake in, but sometimes when I get dental work done, I get laughing gas, and they have TVs and you can watch a movie because it was like a 3-hour procedure. They were fixing all the teeth that my freaking orthodontist didn't fix when I was a kid. Screw him. If you ever want to watch, like, if you want a good time, the best movie to watch while you're high is by a long shot National Treasure. Really? Okay, because hear me out. It's a fun movie, okay, but it's got problems. When you're high, you don't notice the problems, and you're like, well, yeah, you gotta steal the Declaration of Independence. There's no other options. It is a wonderful experience.
I don't know. I know about funny high movies. Let me think about the best movie to watch high. I mean, obviously, don't do it. Don't freaking do it if it's illegal. Like, don't be breaking any laws. If it's legal in your state, that's fine. Go ahead. If you're 21 and older, and don't overdo it. Just don't overdo it. Just do it for fun. And movie to watch high. The best movie to watch. Yeah, I know. No. I mean, the best experience. Forget about movie. Maybe a movie that gonna make you laugh. There are a lot of movies like that. Airplane, any movie which parody, aspect of it. but watch my favorite movie from the guy Nicola.
Tesla.
No, the French guy, um, the guy that made Climax. Um,
Oh, I haven't seen that one. I've heard of it though.
watch.
Uh,
You haven't watched
Rope?
Climax?
I've heard of it.
It's a crude movie. It's not for everyone. It's not
Yeah,
for everyone.
I've heard it's a
But
trip.
if you want to get the experience of what this guy is, watch.
It's
What
it's
we call it?
probably a little too sexual for me.
No,
Um,
don't watch Climax. Don't watch Climax.
yeah,
It's not
climax
for everyone.
is Gaspar Noé.
Gaspar Noé.
Let's see. He's got
Enter
I
the
Stand
Void.
Alone, Irreversible, Enter
Enter
the
the Void.
Void,
Enter the Void.
Enter the Void.
If you ever want to
No,
watch
okay.
a movie high, if you want
Oh
to have an
gosh,
experience,
yeah.
don't ever get high for nonsense. Do it just to have an amazing experience that you are not going to have in your regular state of mind. Watch Enter the Void by Gaspar Noé. Gas is supposedly that this guy takes DMT, like
Yeah,
but he doesn't do it on purpose. He's like trying to smoke weed, whatever. He's in Japan,
it's laced.
and drugs are like really legal there. And he smokes something and he doesn't know what it is, and then he starts
Yeah,
really getting weird. But
the entire movie
the
is just
visuals,
about his
yeah,
drug trip.
the visuals, no, never mind that. 15 minutes into the movie, I don't know if I want to spoil it for you, or I don't know if I want to, but something happens
It's
that really changes the whole movie, and is like, okay, now we start the movie. Like, now we start the movie, and that's the thing that Gaspar Noé does really well. Like the fade,
it's
fade
like
out.
watching the last part of 2001, but without any context,
Hmm.
where you
Or
go through
is
space.
Yep.
I think that Gaspar Noé was trying to reprise, no, to show
Homage.
to show, to literally try to make, to show us what dying looks like. Like, not like literally what you see, like what you watch while you are dying. The DMT, because when you die, you get this shot of DMT, and that's what takes you to the other life. And that's
Crazy.
yeah, and he tries to do that, so it's insane. Like, it's so metaphysically, I don't know, the movie is so, it's such a trip. And if you want to watch something while you are in gas, whatever, I don't know what you were saying, laughing gas, what's the name of that, nitrox and
Nitrous
Laughing gas. Yeah.
oxide, yeah.
yeah. If you want to watch something on that, or in some legal drug, or maybe a little bit drunk, maybe you smoke a cigarette or two, or a shisha, a hookah, do whatever you want. But if you want to watch a movie while
Enter
you
the
are in
Void.
another state of mind, yeah, obviously I said kids. No, kids, no. Like, you have to be at least 21 or older, at least. Like, you're gonna freak off your mom.
Or at the dentist.
Or no. I mean, I don't know why they give nitrous oxide to kids. I don't know if they do, but
They give him a very small dose.
yeah, they never, we never get that in Mexico. By the way, we literally
It's
don't get
it's
any
fun.
of that in Mexico. I wish I wish you had. It would be a fun experience, but no, we don't have that. We just get local anesthesia, and good luck. Good luck.
Oh
Yeah,
no, I've had dental work done in Mexico. I know what it's like.
it's like torture. Yeah. You feel the drilling the freaking cavity. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's painful. But yep, if you want to, I wanted to actually, Gaspar Noé was on my list, so now you do brought it up. Enter the Void is my favorite movie from Gaspar Noé. Don't um don't watch Climax. Don't watch Climax. Don't watch Climax. The only way that I would recommend you to watch Climax, if you ever drop acid or ecstasy, and that's because you would not understand what these people are going through unless you experience any of those drugs, because the theme about Climax is that they get all drugged up because someone poisoned their punch.
Mhm.
so they are in an
Mm.
extremely amount of drugs, so they don't know, and that's the thing. And that it's like the Lord of Flies, but literally is the Lord of the Flies but on acid. Literally is the Lord of the Flies on acid. And the problem with this movie is the techno is too overwhelming.
Yeah.
The whole movie is techno, and if you don't like techno or you don't
Mm.
like this kind of dance, I enjoy weird things, so I enjoy this. Is hallucinate? No, how would you say it? Yeah, it's like a hallucination. The way they dance
Yeah.
is really
Hallucinate.
visually is impressive. Visually is impressive, but it's pretty freaking weird. It's pretty freaking weird. So I would not be recommending it to anyone that is not in the state of mind that is going to appreciate the weirdness of it, and is not going to get repulsed by the over sexualization, and the themes, that the over exaggerated themes that Gaspar Noé usually tries to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, that the to finish this list, pretty long list, but I've been thinking about it since like 2 weeks ago. So, and I loved it because I got to rewatch a lot of movies. The other thing that I was obsessed with is Martin Scorsese type films, specifically Martin Scorsese.
Yeah.
Hmm.
My the
That's a
problem with
that's a
Martin
tough
Scorsese,
choice.
yeah, the
His
problem
best.
with Martin Scorsese is that I cannot choose.
Off the
Let
top of
me,
my head,
yeah,
I
the
would
top of my head, I
probably
cannot
say
choose Taxi Driver, but Goodfellas. Never mind, Goodfellas. Goodfellas is probably because it's the first one that I saw from Martin Scorsese, and I didn't know that movies could be like that.
that's a good one.
I didn't know that movies could be like that, and that's one of the first actual directors that I saw, and that I learned that he was magnificent.
I think if I had to pick his best film, I'd have to go with the Departed.
The Pad.
The Departed.
To be honest, I think Taxi Driver is probably his best character film. I
It's
don't know the
yeah,
Departed. I think the Departed it has so many great things. The
yeah.
Departed, and
Taxi
Mhm.
Driver is not very accessible,
Yeah, yeah.
like for general audiences.
Hmm.
It's
You
not a
have
tip.
to,
It's not a. It's almost not a movie. It's just a character study.
exactly. But and that's a movie dear to me because that's a movie that I saw first with my father, and he always told me that was his favorite movie, Taxi Driver. It's just such a insane movie,
Mhm.
in every sense of the word. And I didn't saw it pretty young. He was like, okay, you cannot watch this while you're young, obviously, because of the themes of the movie. But I watched it when I was 18, so I was at least mature enough to
Yeah.
say, okay, this is a pretty interesting story, character study. And he loved that movie. And if you like blues, you're gonna watch him. If you like blues, midnight blues, like this kind of blues with the saxophone, the lonely saxophone, and the I don't know. You can watch this movie and you're not gonna get bored. But if you are pretty sensitive about kids or young females being, yeah, that's a pretty hard movie to watch. It was a pretty hard movie to watch for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
at least that part. The whole thing about the guy, Pacino's, the whole thing with Pacino is interesting and beautiful, and the thing with the girl is so
It's
troubling and
it's probably
so gnarly.
Al Pacino's best acting work.
Ooh-ah. Yeah.
So he can get a little bit one note,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
and Taxi Driver is probably his best
Hmm.
range.
Because you see, okay, you see Scarface, and you see, I don't know what's other movie that looks like Scarface. Well, never mind. Scarface is pretty. But yeah, yeah. When he
Godfather,
acts like a mobster,
Goodfellas.
yeah, yeah. But Godfather is, yeah, probably Goodfellas. But in Godfather, he's not he's not like in Scarface
Yeah.
Al Pacino.
or in the first
Al
one. No, no,
Pacino
no,
isn't in the first. No, 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 no.
He's
no,
in
no, no.
Goodfellas, I think.
He's
Right?
in.
Is he in good? No, De Niro is in Goodfellas. De Niro
yes.
and Joaquin. No, not Joaquin. No, the
I
Ray
for some
Liotta and Pesci. I love Pesci. I just that's the reason why Goodfellas is my favorite movie. Is just that I love Pesci. Like the
Yeah.
way he acts. Like,
for
are you
years-
talking to me? No. That's the other one.
Okay, yeah.
How am
okay,
I funny? How am I funny?
Right, yeah.
Another good
It
Scorsese
was Robert
film.
De Niro doesn't come in until Godfather Part 2. That's why I
Yeah.
was confused.
Right.
I was like, I thought he wasn't in the first one, but
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Robert De Niro that plays the young version of Vito Corleone
Yeah,
in the
but
Godfather Part 2.
I am pretty excited for Flowers. Riders of the Flower Moon.
Oh, sorry, I stand corrected.
Killers of the Flower
I
Moon.
stand corrected. Right. It was.
Yep.
It's
Meet the Fockers.
that's his,
That's
his
good.
best range. Gosh,
But
that
yeah,
movie
I'm
is-
pretty
that
excited
movie is
for
horrible.
his upcoming movie, Killers of the Flower Moon. I'm pretty excited about it. DiCaprio, you know,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
DiCaprio Scorsese is like the best duo.
Another really good Scorsese film is Hugo. Hugo's
Oh,
a very
yeah.
fun, fantastical show. It's not a perfect film by any means, but I just love it's just like a celebration of cinema and
Yeah,
a
and being
love
smart.
letter to Georges Méliès. It's great.
Yeah, I like this kind of movies that they glorify being smart, because being
Yeah.
smart is pretty awesome. But everywhere is like, oh, you have to be cool, you have to freak girls and smoke dope or something like that. I don't know. I don't know
It's-
what they say, but yeah, you have to be cool and not
IMDb
smart.
is telling me that Scorsese is making Gangs of New York again. Is it a sequel?
I don't know.
What the crap?
Gangs of New York is also a great movie, by
Yeah,
the way.
it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's also
It
great. And
says he's
DiCaprio,
in-
what is going on? Like, is he in love with DiCaprio? Like, did
I
he
mean,
ask
have
him
you
to suck his
seen
cock?
him act?
Yeah, actually,
Okay,
yes.
what's this? Gangs of New York is in pre-production.
Shutter
it a s-
Island.
is it a-
Shutter
it's-
Island is like one of the best crying scenes that I've seen in my life.
It's probably some lame remake, and so his name is just attached to it because he made the original. Or
What
it could
was
be a
the other
sequel. I
one?
don't know.
What was the other one where DiCaprio's like crying really, like, and you see him like really red and emoting like a god?
I think it's I
not
don't-
Shutter Island, but
The Aviator.
no, the other one with
Catch Me If You
the
Can.
no, the other one with the girl. Like, it's basically marriage story, but with DiCaprio and another girl. I don't remember.
Wolf of Wall Street.
No.
I don't know. What
I
you're
love
talking
Wolf.
about.
I love Wolf of Wall
Are you
Street.
talking about
bro.
Romeo and Juliet or Titanic?
I hate Titanic. I hate that freaking movie.
I will.
I had an ex-girlfriend put me through that.
The Great
freaking
Gatsby.
3 hour. Yeah.
Okay.
Great Gatsby.
Oh, gotcha.
Great
Okay,
Gatsby.
my problem with The Great Gatsby.
There's a lot of problems with the Great Gatsby.
It's very well made movie. Like it looks phenomenal, and the problem is it fundamentally misunderstands the point of the entire book.
Mhm.
The book
Yeah.
is a criticism of that kind of lifestyle, and the movie celebrates that lifestyle. It's,
Mhm.
it's legitimately the opposite of the book is done.
Yeah, it's a
Movie
criticism of the superficial aspect of also the
It's like
lifestyle.
It's like how
The
everyone
Roaring 20s, yeah.
everyone gets Romeo and Juliet wrong too. Romeo and Juliet is a comedy.
Wait, what?
It's a criticism of it's making fun of young love. It's ridiculous. It's
The movie
it's
or
a
the
real-
book?
the book. Shakespeare wrote
Oh.
Romeo and Juliet as a comedy, and everyone gets it wrong, and they say it's super romantic. No, he's making fun of them because they're idiots.
Yeah, I don't
Makes
know about
sense.
that, bro.
It's funny. Read it again. It's a funny book.
Makes sense.
But
I mean,
Leonardo
they
DiCaprio,
they do say some cheesy shit.
I think his best acting work is in Django Unchained. Just
I was
like,
getting to that. I was getting to that.
like
I was getting to
performance
that.
wise, like I don't. It's so good,
Mhm.
and
And
like
you know what?
knowing like the
yeah.
behind the scenes stuff, like he actually like sliced his hand open in that one scene, and he keeps going, and he like rubs his blood on the actress. it's crazy.
I wanted to say, and this is probably true. I think Quentin Tarantino is the greatest director of our time, and who could you even compare him to? Like
um,
our time,
if you're talking like
passing Scorsese, after Scorsese, after Kubrick, after all these things, the
I think,
next great director
yeah,
is Quentin Tarantino, and specifically for Django. Django is such
it's
a
good. And I don't
Jesus
even
Christ.
like Jamie Foxx, but I like him in that movie.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was an actor. I thought he was a rapper. I don't know, man.
He
I
was. He
he
was a
was.
rapper
Um,
or singer.
yeah, I always thought he was Kanye West because of the movie with Kanye West. But Ray Charles, well, Ray Charles is a great movie as well. Jamie Foxx is good, but yeah, he has not been good always.
I
He
would
got great.
on that question, who's comparable to Quentin Tarantino? Stylistically, I would say Scorsese.
No, but like,
But
who
like
can you
currently,
compare? Like,
I
who is
I
as
don't
good
know.
as him?
But
Like, who is
in
as good as
e-
him?
as good as him in regards to like the fact that he can do whatever he wants,
Hmm.
there are a couple of directors in the same boat, like Christopher Nolan and
Oh yes.
and uh, Wes Anderson. Like they clearly don't care about Hollywood at all, and they're doing their own thing.
Yeah, but Wes Anderson is kind of a
Obviously, like it's
pedo
a
too, so
completely different style of directing, but they're kind of in the same boat where they are doing what they want to do, and I totally respect that. And so I would say Wes Anderson, um, yeah, Christopher Nolan,
Nolan
Edgar
definitely.
Wright.
You're right, as I was going
I'd
to
say
say, yeah.
Edgar Wright, and
And there was this the guy that did Snatch, the British guy,
oh
really
yeah,
good.
I can't remember his name.
Oh, yeah, but that guy's style is amazing. Um,
Guy Ritchie, yeah,
Guy
yeah.
Ritchie, that Guy
Guy
Ritchie
Ritchie's
Yeah.
phenomenal.
is
Guy Ritchie's great.
insane. Guy Ritchie is freaking insane.
I really want to
Um,
see Operation Fortune. That one looks really good because
yeah,
I loved The Gentleman. I also really want to see The Covenant. I'm really excited to see both those movies.
exactly.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Gentleman was great. I
Snatch
loved his Sherlock
also.
Holmes ones too. Guess what? I even like Guy Ritchie's King Arthur movie. I think it's phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
one that
What
was
was
a
the movie?
the one that was a box office bomb,
Yeah, I
Yeah,
probably
never saw
the
that one.
biggest bomb of all time. It's freaking good.
I was
It's
looking forward to
really
it, and
good.
then it just fizzled out in the theaters and never got around to
yeah.
seeing it.
I mean, I got to
Uh,
see it because I love Arthur. The story of Arthur and the Disney one is just one of my dearest movies of all time. With Merlin and all this stuff. So I saw the new one. If you they haven't for any reasons they haven't used the story again, but he did it and it was good. But I was expecting for a sequel and it just bombed. It just bombed, and it probably didn't bomb in Mexico because I remember that in Mexico was like a hit. Like everyone was like, "Holy shit, that movie!"
yeah, he's made some good stuff, man. From Uncle,
Yeah,
all kinds of good ones.
yeah. But I think that was basically it. Oh, Quentin Tarantino. I didn't
Yeah,
see my movie from Quentin Tarantino. Django.
yeah.
Yeah, Django.
I would say Django is probably the best one.
Yep.
Django, the wittiest and the
I mean,
filmography and the story, and
people would argue.
I hated 12 Years of Slave. I hated that freaking movie. It's like 12 years of
Yeah.
get me out of this cinema right now. I don't like I also watched Root.
Django Unchained was just 12 Years a Slave, but with a gun.
Yeah, but actually gave the you gave the black guy a gun and he's like, okay, everything changes, right? Um I don't know. We really need to see, and I agree with the woke people when they say this, but we really need black heroes like that. But they don't do it. They don't do it because this movie was not woke like at all. This movie was the complete opposite of a woke movie, right?
Yeah.
Django was with the purpose of showing the nasty, the gnarly, like, but
Mm.
with not just a body horror movie, not just torture PORN. You know, it's just a fun watch overall, and one of the best, like you said, acting performances on DiCaprio. One of the best acting performances also in Samuel L.
Christoph
Jackson.
Waltz too. Like
Was, oh my God,
okay,
Christopher Waltz.
Waltz's performance was better in Inglorious Bastards.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, you got me there. You got me there because you got me between the story and the because Inglorious
But
Bastards is my
I would say
Jesus.
the
I
internet would
forgot.
argue as well that Pulp Fiction is his best movie,
Axe.
but I disagree.
It's a good movie, obviously. It's a great movie, but nah, 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 nah. Inglorious Bastards. No,
That one's
that's
really
a
good.
movie. The performances alone, what he gets out of those guys, like what he gets out of Michael Fassbender and
Well,
and
just
Christopher Waltz
the stupid scene in the basement bar
in the bar. That
that
scene,
goes on for like 45 minutes,
I was
and you're
literally
like,
like
what
this
is
in the
going? And
movie.
but
I
it's
was
so
like,
good.
I was waiting. It was like, you know, Jesus. I was literally drawing myself into to the screen because of how s- stressful or how suspenseful that
Yeah,
situation was, and the way they managed everything, the way they tried to hide everything is just one of the
and
smartest,
just
probably
like
one of the smartest movies that
yeah,
he has done as well.
it was very intelligent. The whole the different way that cultures say the number three is it's crazy.
Yeah, who notices that? Like who notices that? Only
Well,
if you live there
I
and you
knew that
seen it.
before I watched the
Oh,
movie.
nice, nice, nice.
Well, that's
I
how you say
mean,
three in sign language. So
oh, I don't know how we make three in Mexico. I think we do the three like
yeah,
this.
that
Yeah.
means white power. So be careful with that one. Maybe don't
Or
do that on the stream, please. Okay.
okay, I'm gonna close it. Like it's a C. It's a C, guys. It's a C. Um, but yeah, those are my movies: Inglourious Bastards and Django Unchained, because I cannot choose from those two. But yeah, that's it.
It's a good list.
Hmm.
Jared, Jared's turn, right? Or do we want to do bad takes real quick?
It is getting kind of late, so I don't
Okay.
want to,
Hmm.
Then
extend it longer than we need to, so we can do bad takes.
okay. We'll
You
do
can tell us. You can tell us your list next week. I mean,
Yeah.
we're still looking for things to talk about, right?
I still have my list of not top fives, but just good movies to watch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we gotta. If
Yeah.
if you want to, we can make next week like top fives or either best bad movies or best movies that are just a fun ride.
Okay. We'll do some bad takes real quick.
Screen rants. Bad takes.
Also, I forgot to mention, shout out to Mark Clark, who's been a channel member for 7 months. But did you guys know? This is news, guys. This is real. This is brand new. This week news.
We already covered this
No,
like
shut up,
2
David.
months
This is
ago.
news. David. This is news. Lord of the Rings official artwork featuring a black Aragorn sparks fan reaction. Oh, you're right. We covered this like months ago, right?
Yep.
Like,
Oh, sorry. I thought it was a new story.
like 5 months ago,
That's
literally.
weird because it is published May 14th. That's weird.
But read the subtitle. They made Aragorn black, and it sparked a powerful fan reaction for a good reason. They're on the wrong side of this one, but they're celebrating. Oh, it's so diverse, and it's so wonderful. Have you guys seen the video of the guy crying? I
No.
won't put the audio on. It's a black man who literally breaks down in tears after finally seeing himself represented in the Lord of the Rings. This is everything that's wrong with society right now.
Yeah.
If we are legitimately teaching people that they're not allowed to connect with stories across cultures, like, that's evil. That's so evil. He breaks down crying
Jesus.
because Aragorn is black. Guess what? I am not a swordsman. I am not a Dunedain. Okay? I don't live 900 years, but I can still relate to Aragorn as a character because he's cool.
Yeah. And for example, like we as well, me as a Mexican, right? Like all I saw was movies with white people growing up because demographics, obviously.
And you
And we was
obviously hated all of those films, right?
obviously I hated. I wanted to murder, murder. I no, and I always felt myself identified with any race, any color. I didn't give a damn. I would just watch a good movie. I watch a great character, and I said, "That's me. That's me." I saw Luke Skywalker. That's me. And that guy is white as hell. Like that's the whitest boy that they found, literally. Because we don't we shouldn't be seeing the race be before. Like I've seen it a lot of times. You guys don't see me as a Mexican person. You see me as a smart person that loves the same kind of shows that you like and hates the same shows that we hate. So that's why we have fun together and we enjoy each other's company.
Can you
Yeah,
imagine
definitely.
going the other way? If I say I don't like movies with Mexicans in them,
Yeah, imagine that.
I can't enjoy Coco. Like that's insane.
Did you guys see that that video that was viral? That was basically it was an Asian ethnicity guy who was talking about like the problem with race that's like destroying white people.
I didn't see
It,
that.
it was basically saying that like the way that we're dealing with race right now is destroying the way that we're like
Yeah.
it's destroying everything about race
Mhm.
and ethnicity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
You guys didn't see that? Okay,
I've-
I'll have to send it to you.
I don't
'cause
know.
it was like,
I've seen a lot, and it speaks true. I don't know if I've seen that
Yeah.
specific video.
well,
I mean,
it was literally a video that was like 20 minutes, 30 minutes long about some guy that he was like, look, the problem is like TikTok is literally treating white people as it like as badly as white people were treating black people before, you know? So it's like
Mhm.
it's literally they're saying they're getting excused
Yeah.
from being racist because they're not racist.
I mean, imagine me saying, "Hey, I can't give enough praise to Gunmetal Gods. It's freaking
Yeah.
awesome." Okay, I finished book 2, and I can't read book 3 yet because the audiobook's not out, and I don't have time to read real books. Okay, but imagine, after years of making adaptations of Gunmetal Gods, 20 years in the future, they recast the main character as a white man, and then I break down in tears saying, "Finally, representation matters." The Gunmetal Gods has been my favorite for the longest time, and I don't think they understand how important this is to me. Cry, cry, cry. What this means to me, I will finally be able to see myself as the main character from Gunmetal Gods. That's just
exactly.
racist.
Hmm.
The
Exactly.
comments are even more disgusting. This video brings me so much joy. You bow to no one. Well, no, he bows to the woke mob for sure. It's insane. It's insanity.
Yeah. For example, you guys watch Apocalypto and you saw that crazy Mexican guy doing some badass shit. Like you said, okay, I'm
Ooh,
that guy. Like that was so
Apocalypto,
badass.
man.
Like that guy was so
And it would have been
badass.
better. And it would have been better if he was a white guy.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because
If it
white
was a
guys can
white man
survive in the jungle.
cast as an ancient Mayan, or I guess he wasn't. The Mayans are the bad guys. He was just some tribal guy.
No, the
Aztec.
Aztecs were the bad
Aztecs.
ones. The
Aztecs were the
Mayans.
bad guys.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They were
How insane. How
bad.
insane! Like,
They
and
were bad.
it's sad though, because like you're actually making people racist. You're telling people that they you can't cross contaminate cultures. But America is supposed to be the melting pot. Like it's silly. I hate it. Anyway,
Yep.
but this is news. This is months old news. With the writers' strike, has affected the production of Deadpool 3 because Ryan Reynolds is no longer allowed to improvise lines because that counts as writing. It doesn't. That's called acting. It's called improvising. It's different from writing. Improvisers don't write things down. But this is why I hate the writer's strike so much. This is literally like fascistic. What they're doing. Someone tweeted out, and I lost they deleted the tweet, so I don't have the source anymore. Ken Jennings agreed to host the show that he's famous for.
Wheel of Fortune?
No, not Wheel of Fortune. Jeopardy. Goodness
Jeopardy,
gracious.
right.
So Jeopardy,
The other one.
the original host said, I'm striking, so I'm not going to do it. And so they asked Ken Jennings to come in. Hey, will you just host? We already wrote all the questions beforehand because we were anticipating the writer's strike. And so Ken Jennings said yes. And you had psychopaths on Twitter saying, this man needs to be removed from he's not even part of the Writers Guild. He's like, he needs to be banned from Hollywood. That's mobster. That's what mobsters would do.
Yeah.
Okay, the WGA are acting like mobsters.
Yeah,
You
like
have
Mexican narcos, like literally.
you have the writer for Andor. He's the writer and director, and he already wrote season 2, and so he's moving forward directing season 2 of Andor because he's not acting as a writer, and they're saying that's impossible. He's not allowed to do that. Someone better compare the scripts to the final product, and if there's one word out of place, he needs to be removed from the WGA. These are tweets from like WGA officials.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
That's what it's like. I'm watching Goodfellas. That's insane.
Literally.
I hate unions. Do you know, David? David, how many teachers did we have growing up that were abusive? That could not get fired because of unions.
So many.
The one specifically that would literally cuss you out in class in front of the other students because you disagreed with his opinion.
Yep.
You never went to a
still has a job teaching kids because of teachers' unions.
Jesus. Yeah, I mean the nuns in our country would hit you with different objects, but that's another story.
Yeah.
Have you ever got hit by the Bible by a Bible in your hand?
the concept of unions were good at first, but where unions are now are so far from what they used to be and what they used to represent that I'm just like hands down, I don't think unions should exist at all.
Agreed.
Like they're so far from their original purpose.
Yep. Now all they do is prevent bad employees
you are
from
not
getting fired.
You're not allowed to write in Hollywood if you don't belong to the writers union.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to act in Hollywood if you don't belong to the acting union. Shouldn't that be a choice?
Not anymore. I mean, it probably was at a time, but the power of the union is probably so exponentially.
That's literally what mobsters do.
Well, the unions were basically mobsters.
It's protection money.
Have you watched The Irishman? Have you watched The Irishman?
I couldn't finish it. I got like an hour in. I was like,
it was pretty boring. The only fun part was the ending, and you have to watch for 2-30 minutes.
I just couldn't get over. Like the technology was impressive, but the problem was that the men were still old, and so like the scene where Robert De Niro is like curb stomping a guy, and he looks young, but he doesn't look young because he's like hobbling.
It gets you out of out of the
Like,
experience. Yeah,
I didn't like
it's
it.
not like I didn't like it at all. The Irishman, I hated it. I hated it because I watched 3 hours of that movie
It's long.
to have the worst, one of the worst action scenes that I've seen in a mobster movie. Like literally, like guy was killed in a deli, and the other guy just was killed while he was I don't know on his
Yeah.
back. So like remember Goodfellas, all those killings, or remember Reservoir Dogs? Reservoir Dogs. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
Those were mobster kills.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just rewatched Reservoir Dogs talking about Quentin Tarantino. That's a good one.
Holy moly,
It's
that
okay.
movie is
Oh
good.
man, the torture scene. Oh, that hits home every single
Yeah,
day, baby.
Jesus, that scene
I'm
is
stuck in
yeah
the dance.
unnerving.
It's like,
Mhm.
oh, that's good. It's so
I
good.
love that scene. I love that scene. I love that movie as well. Yeah.
Anyway, the point is,
Yeah.
this is a horrible take to not allow actors to act, and unions are gay. So
Yeah, my silver lining with this writer strike is twofold. One,
Yeah.
hopefully it will wake up woke Hollywood
oh, I'm
to
glad that they're
fire
striking.
all these idiot strikers and hire writers that are actually
Yeah.
competent and want to do their jobs.
Or
And two,
freaking
the last
Yeah.
time that there was a writer strike, we got the brilliant genius that was Dr. Horrible's sing along blog, and I'm hoping that we get either
yeah.
a sequel or something else like that because. That was just a whole bunch of people saying, "Hey, you're not going to do your jobs? Okay, we'll get together and we'll make something great." And
Yeah, there were a couple
that
other
was fantastic.
products. There were a couple other products of the last writer strike that came out a couple years later that were really good.
Yep.
No, I'm
People
not
have been
upset that
vying
they are
for a
striking.
sequel for Dr. Horrible sing along blog for years, and it's been in the works and almost happened several times, but everybody's just been busy doing other projects. So I don't know. Maybe this will be an opportunity to do that. I don't know.
Yeah,
well,
I'm not.
I wish
not-
that you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not upset that they're striking. I think it's hilarious because it's a horrible time to strike.
Yeah.
Yep.
The worst
yeah.
economy has been. Well.
Yeah, there's more examples of teachers that should definitely be fired, but unions
aren't. Yep.
and I agree. I don't agree with unions for cops either. I think those are bad, and I think that to be actually consistent in your philosophy, your moral philosophy, if you're against unions for cops, you have to be against unions for teachers too.
Yep.
And but there is no consistency with leftists. They've never been asked to rationalize their opinions.
Exactly.
Okay, more bad takes. People are mad at Chris Pratt
Again?
because he's homophobic. But okay, they're stupid.
Yep.
We're gonna skip over that one. Honestly, the mods didn't deserve the backlash they received. They're fun, stylistically interesting, weird in a good way, and perfectly Star Warsy.
Are they?
Oh, the Vespas? Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
The Power Ranger gang.
Just what a hill to die on, baby. Let's just justify the worst part of any Star Wars, hands down. Like this is right. Am I right? There's nothing worse in Star Wars.
The Lizzo
That's the
scene.
low of the low, yeah.
The Lizzo scene is the worst thing ever.
Okay,
That's bad, but
dang,
these Vespas
that's pretty
were...
bad.
The Lizzo, come
Lizzo
on,
scene's
bro!
worse.
Did you
Yeah,
see? Did
yeah.
you see the Lizzo scene with the ball and the Kirby
Okay.
thing? With it? Yeah,
You're right.
bad.
That's
Lizzo scene
probably
was-
worse.
Yeah.
But the Lizzo scene that was just one episode.
Or
the
they are
Vespa
tight.
gang
they probably.
took over
Yeah, they probably.
several episodes of Boba
Oh.
Fett.
There's another Star Wars
Yeah.
simp that her only complaints for Rise of Skywalker are that when Luke says "see you around, kid" to Kylo Ren, it's never followed up in Rise of Skywalker, and Rose wasn't involved in the main mission, which was criminal. Probably the only good part of Rise of Skywalker was that she wasn't.
Yeah, they probably said, "Okay, screw this girl." Like,
And then Luke inspiring the Citizens Fleet is not clearly communicating.
lol. Lol.
Yeah.
But also, the good outweighs the bad, baby. And they picked some of the dumbest scenes The snake healing.
Yeah,
Oh
that
my
was
gosh.
dumb. Yeah,
Ah, I forgot about that,
Yeah, that was
dude.
weird.
I prefer to forget about most
I
of
don't-
Rise of Skywalker.
I don't think I've seen it since I watched it
No,
the first
In the
time.
in the theater,
I think
because
it's
I was
the
upset.
only Star Wars movie I've only seen the one time in the theater.
I think I gotta watch it again.
No,
I
I
think
I
gotta
did. I watched it
I
twice.
didn't know
I
if you
watched
do.
it when it came out on Disney Plus, just because like I was like, I gotta double check. Like, was
Yeah.
it really that bad? I did watch it a second time.
And it is.
It was worse. It was way worse the second time. Anyway,
I gotta watch
a
it.
couple more bad takes. Queen Cleopatra audience score is getting review bombed on Rotten Tomatoes. It's not funny. It's racist. That's a good meme right there. You really want to go down that road?
Yeah, I was wondering because
Rotten Tomatoes
what
doesn't
were
exist.
they? Yeah, what were even? I thought that Egyptians were like light skin. I mean, they were obviously not white, but they were a little lighter skin, like olive oil
The
color.
scientific evidence actually shows that modern day Egyptians are darker than they
They were.
they used to be. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And
'Cause they-
Cleopatra
because of
was white.
know,
I know
because
that.
of intermingling, Egyptians have gotten darker over time.
Yeah,
So
because Cleopatra was the daughter like of a
yes,
a
and there
Italian
are many historical records that describe Cleopatra as a very white woman.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
so you're stupid, Netflix. You're not getting reviewed. Was that Netflix? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And it's really weird because Cleopatra is not like the best role model.
Oh no,
Either.
No,
no.
Yeah, not at all. And it's
No.
like, okay, why she did
but
she suck?
it's because she's described for her beauty, so they want
Marcus Aurelius Dick, and that's that's it. Never mind, that's not the guy.
Alexander the
Julius,
Great.
Julius Caesar, no.
She was friends with Alexander the Great.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got my
I think you
timelines.
got the wrong historical figure.
Yeah, I got my timelines a little bit mixed up there.
Marcus Aurelius. Wait, isn't that the main character from Gladiator?
Yeah.
Yes. It is. Hell yeah.
Oh no, he was no. There was a Roman emperor. Marcus
Yeah,
Aurelius.
there was someone.
What's the guy's name from Gladiator then?
Marcus, but it was Marcus something.
Something.
Marcus something.
Father to a murdered daughter, husband to a murdered wife. It's a good movie. Oh yeah, well this is obviously this is a good take. This is a criticism. Obviously you wouldn't be saying that it's racism if Martin Luther King was played by a white person. Hypocrisy. Okay. Last bad take. Did you guys see the Dove commercial?
Oh yeah, you can put it if you want. I love it.
Okay, I'm not gonna put on the sound.
Yeah, obviously.
But did you guys see the Dove commercial?
I have not.
It is.
Watch
It's
it.
Marcus Aurelius. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Dove has decided to take on video games for sexism. Hold on, I gotta mute it for myself because it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Oh, hey, look, a hot video game chick. she's fighting a video game monster.
Can we just
First off,
yeah,
she's not that attractive.
Pause it by a second. Can we just talk about how stupid that was that she shoots
it with a
laser
sword
from a sword?
Yeah,
That was dumb. Yeah.
Yeah.
My gosh, what the heck is that head piece thing?
What was that?
This is what women think. This is what
Video
women
games
think
are.
video games are like. Yes.
Yeah. What is even this? Like, is this even first perspective,
The-
third perspective? What is this? Like, what are they doing? Like, they don't know.
Honestly,
Dog,
it looks like a mobile game ad. But,
Yeah.
but
Exactly.
we'll
It's probably going to be a mobile game.
go. Oh, see, but she's just an actress, right? So she goes back to her dorm room, her makeup trailer.
Her shoulders are like disconnected. Like
Yes, I know. It's
yeah,
got-
make her look like
got
her
it.
You're
broad
gonna see-
shoulders.
You're
All
gonna
right, you guys
Like
ready?
she's strong and
Yeah, you're gonna
manly,
see
but-
why. You're gonna see why. You're gonna.
You
see
guys
why.
ready? Are you guys ready? Here it comes. Here it comes, baby. Ooh. Turns out she was fat the whole time, baby. Which is it's physically impossible how much she expands, right? So like, look at this. Like, that's that. It was just a corset. Takes off the oppressive, misogynistic lipstick, which is completely optional for women. Don't need lipstick.
Yeah. And
Is
it's
that
not
you got-
like women
you-
design the lipstick.
Look, it's fine. You can wear it, but you're wearing it for women. You're not wearing
Yeah.
it for men.
Man, we don't give a we hate actually. It
I
gets in
hate
the way.
makeup. I hate
It
makeup.
gets in the way. It gets in the way.
Lipstick most of all because it's just
Yeah, have you
sticky and
ever
gross.
kissed someone with lipstick?
It's gross. Yeah, it's gross. It gets in the way. It gets in the way. Hmm
Indeed. Oh gosh.
hey, pause it. At least she doesn't have armpit hair. At
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
At least.
True.
least they have
There,
the
there you go.
decency.
There's a plus.
Mhm.
But she's in her gamer girl chair. She's got little photos of her boyfriend.
And this is an advertisement for
monster.
Dove, huh?
Yes, it is an advertisement for Dove.
Now check the ending of that advertisement. Check it. Jesus, guys, she's chubby.
It gets worse though.
This has nothing to do with.
Well, because they announced that they're dedicating their funds to ruining video games. They've partnered with a video game company to make a game with fat chicks.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, it's so ugly.
I can't wait for that to not sell.
Oh, see, it was oppressive. The image, it fell down. There you go.
Pause it right there.
74%
yeah.
of girls feel underrepresented in video games.
Yeah, because
74% of girls just don't play video games. Okay,
it's just that, yeah, basically. But it's just like I see Leon F. Kennedy, or I see, I don't know, characters from League of Legends like Garen or Darius that are such
Yeah.
buffed characters, and I'm like,
I don't feel
oh
represented
yeah,
in
that's
video
my
games.
body. That's my body. I'm so buff.
I
and
don't feel
strong.
represented in video games, which is why I play video games.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Who?
Escapism.
I know
what
that I'm
man-
not a
yeah.
wizard when I play Harry Potter Legacy. Hogwarts.
What
Legacy.
men? Anyway, like 0% of men are ever represented in games. Like either they are super hot and super buffed, or they're aliens or demons or whatever class, but they are always unrealistic and like
Yep.
a sort of a role model, like a goal. Like you see a video game, it's a super
Yeah, men,
badass guy doing these badass things, and you're like, I want to be like that guy.
men see video games, yeah, and they say, "Oh yeah, I need to go buy a sword," right? Like I need to go work out. And women see video games and say, "Oh, why aren't we?" I don't know. Yeah, obviously, not all women, just the feminists. But they say, "Why
Exactly.
aren't we represented in this space where we clearly don't want to be anyway?"
Yeah.
Like
I
the people
mean,
complaining about this aren't
to
the
be honest,
25% of girls that actually play video games.
Yeah. And the truth is that they don't feel represented because they don't think themselves as beautiful. If you think yourself as beautiful, you're going to see yourself in something beautiful.
Yeah.
And yeah, exactly. If you see yourself as beautiful, you're going to see yourself in something beautiful. And this is basically saying that these girls are egotistical, brainwashed people that think that everything is about looks. Everything is about how fat, how thin, the color of your skin, whatever, the size of your boobies. That has nothing to do with beauty, and they don't know what beautiful is, and that's the thing that gets me angry. Yeah, because we never get representation in video games. Like, when have you seen a superhero in a video game that has a dad bod? Literally a dad, but not the dad bod with kind of buff. Not
Incredibles.
literally that. Not, but he was kind of buff still. Like, he was strong,
True,
but
yeah.
fat. But
And he gets in
Well,
shape in the movie. It doesn't count.
True.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, he gets running, and he's like, "Oh, let's get to work," and whatever. When did you see like a dad bod in a video game? Not a movie, right? A video game. Never.
Yeah, I can't think of any example.
Mario is like the most realistic freaking body in uh,
Yeah,
the volcano
Mario.
films are insane.
Mario, baby. That's
Yeah,
there you go.
Mario. That guy's
Um,
chubby and a little bit small, but yeah.
so Dove has dedicated their time and money to ruining video games with Unreal Engine. I don't know what that means if they're going to make a video game
I
or
think, I think that what we were saying that in Twitter that I read about this is that they are planning on doing a video game, literally
well, no one's going to buy it.
on Unreal Engine, exactly. With the partnership that they have with Unreal Engine, and no one's gonna buy it, right? They're probably gonna have to make it free.
It's probably going to be a
Um,
mobile game.
it's probably going to be a mobile game, and it's probably going to look as shitty as this.
But yeah, so she goes back to the game and she's
And
fat.
the physics, oh my god, the sword,
They're horrible.
the
Yeah,
sword shooting.
but my favorite part is coming up. Okay, ready? Are you ready for the big? Let's make
Oh my god.
let's make virtual beauty real. That's okay. The beauty about virtual is it can be whatever the heck you want it to be.
Exactly.
The
And-
beauty of virtual is that you don't have to be fat. If I'm making my avatar in a video game, I'm giving him abs.
Mhm.
Okay?
Yeah, because
Um,
perhaps for X or J reason, genetics plays a huge part in appearance.
You want
And
to know
it's
what the best part
freaking-
is?
Oh, she looks like
The best part is they
Oh
had
my
to
God.
slim down the real life model. Have you
Wow.
Yeah, because she looks
Yeah,
fatter in
see,
the real
let's-
picture.
see how much they had to slim her down?
Like, look at her
Look at her
belly.
arms. Look, her arms are about half the size. Okay, her double chin is non-existent. Her face is about it's slimmed down, right? Her belly, it's all
Never
firmed
mind,
up.
slim down. It's clean up. Is
She's missing-
rounded up.
She's missing her front butt, right? What an
Oh,
empowered.
the thing with Martina saying that the sexy thing about the armors that it feels dumb. Like I always hate it. Like watching a girl with big titty armor is like, okay, that's not real. Like that. How do you make a titty armor?
But men have always complained about that too. Like,
Yeah.
look,
Because that's nothing to the when you are a man that likes gaming, you want to see good gameplay, and if that's nothing to the gameplay, you're like, okay, this is garbage. Yeah, that's why nobody.
It's okay if it's revealing and they're in like a dress, But the boob armor has always been silly, and it's always been
it's always
criticized
been really
by both
really
men
silly.
and women.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
but isn't that funny? She's like half the size as the model.
Look at her belly, her belly under her pants, like, Jesus, what is
that's the front. butt.
what
The
is
front butt.
that?
It's non-existent on the model. See how her weight.
The
She actually
front
had
butt.
the model actually has a waist, or the video game character has a waist, and the model doesn't.
Yep.
So it seems kind of hypocritical of Dove, honestly. Seems like they're fat shaming.
Let's make a virtual beauty real, something like that. Yeah.
I stand with attractive women. You gotta love Nerdrotic. It's great.
Yeah. So I just looked up the gaming company they partnered with. It's called Toya. It's a female founded game studio, and
Well,
as
that'll be
far as I can
successful.
tell, they've done one thing. It's a Roblox add-on called Super
Jeez.
U Story. I've never heard of it before, and it looks
Jeez.
like absolute garbage. And
Oh, I
that's the
didn't.
only thing I can see that
haven't
they've
watched
done.
that.
Oh, I didn't see this though.
I didn't see that either.
They've made it looks like Ariel isn't black for China.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Look at the difference of the US poster.
Oh,
Look at the US
no.
poster right there.
Look at that!
Look at the freaking
Look
US
at
poster.
that, everybody!
Look at the
Ouch.
freaking US poster.
I mean, they both look bad, but
Yep.
But one looks like her color, and the other looks like she's literally colored down. Like if you go to Photoshop.
oh yeah, sorry,
Did
I
you
forgot. I
still-
forgot
yeah.
the slang. It's called a fupa, not a front butt.
But if you go to Photoshop and you really zoom out and you try with the thingy that identifies the color, it's going to be blue. It's going to
Oh,
be. There's no way it's black. It's going to be blue.
That is hilarious.
Why though? Why
Yikes.
claim and cry and say that we all are racist.
I
and
gotta
you
say
are
the
most
the composition
disgusting
though,
racist."
the composition of the China poster is much better.
looks
Agreed.
beautiful.
This
It
is
looks beautiful,
horrible.
but it's not. Yeah, it's disgusting. It looks beautiful, the China one, and but why though? Why? What?
Yeah,
Oh,
everything I've
Disney.
seen from this film, the CGI looks so bad.
Have you heard the new song they released like 2 days ago? The
Oh
Scuttlebutt.
my god!
There's a new song. I used to have a lot of respect for Lin-Manuel Miranda, but I don't anymore.
I tell you
know,
that, bro.
I
I have
think he's
one of my best friends. She
overrated.
loves Lin Manuel Miranda, but I hate that guy.
Yeah, go listen to
I
the Scuttlebutt. It's the
Yeah.
worst song you'll ever hear in your life.
Yep.
Anyway, that's bad takes.
Mhm.
Those are the bad takes, everybody.
Yikes.
We've been streaming for 3.5 hours, so we could call it there and give Jared some time to think about his list and share
Yes.
my recommendations last time. But I can't remember. Did I already mention a town called Panic in our last stream?
Yeah.
The French.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I just watched it again. It's so good. It's so good. So funny. Oh, it's beautiful. It's great stop motion animation. Anyway, but I've got a big old long list. Well, it's not super long. This was just like me in the bathroom taking a poop, trying to think of some things to recommend.
Yeah.
So it's not extensive. There's definitely things that are missing, but I was like, oh yeah, that was a good movie that I watched when I was a kid. Oh yeah, that one was good too.
Yeah, that's kind of what my list has become.
I'll give you one from my list. Okay, that's my top 10. Okay, this is a old-timey movie, okay? Super duper deep cut. Capricorn 1.
Never heard of it.
It's a space movie about faking going to Mars.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's good.
It's really good.
It's fun. It's very, very underrated.
And it's got
Did not-
O.J. Simpson in it. It's a really good movie.
I didn't know that. Oh goodness, I need to look it up. It's been years since I've seen that.
It's about them. They're trying. It's the space race. It's set in the future, but I think I think it was made in like the 70s, and so the future is now the past, right? It's mirroring the space race to the moon,
Yeah.
but it's the space race to Mars, and so it's a political kind of thriller where they're fighting against other nations to get to Mars first, and they realize that they're not going to get there, and so they try and fake it, and then they're just going to have. There's like a sound studio and everything where they're like fake doing stuff on Mars with the actual astronauts, and then the government plans on. Oh no! They know that. They realize that the technology is there, but that the craft is going to burn up on re-entry of Earth, and explode. So, so they do make it to Mars, but they don't put any humans in the craft, and so they fake the Mars stuff on a soundstage, and then it comes back and blows up, and then people start investigating it, and then the government tries to actually kill the astronauts, and they have to escape in the desert. And
It's a good movie.
It's a goodie. It's good. Is a good movie. That's my old timey 1977. O.J. Simpson, Sam Waterston, Hal Holbrook. It's a good film.
Yeah, it didn't get good reviews. I think it kind of tanked in the box office, but
it's good.
It's a good movie. Yep.
That's a good one. You should definitely look that one up. And now I gotta delete it from my list, so I don't. Okay, I've got a big old list. I'll probably add to this. Yeah, let's call it there. Next week, I want to do a Dune stream too, but it might not be on this show because none of you guys have read Dune, right?
Nope.
No, I want to, but
I'll probably just hook up with some White Cloaks and do a Dune stream. It might not be live. We'll see. But I read the first 2 Dune books. I'm really freaking excited for
Nice.
Dune Part 2, baby.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's really good. I'm probably going to go and watch the TV show now because I'm like on a Dune kick. But I need to finish books 3 and 4 soon. So those are my books. The Hobbit was good. And
Nice. Did you read the original? Did you listen to the original narration or the new one by Andy Serkis?
No, I don't do the Andy Serkis stuff. I like the original junks.
The original has nostalgia for me, but Andy Serkis's recordings of the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit is really good.
I like that old timer rock and roll.
Yeah.
Arcane Ascension book 2, it's pretty good. I've got some problems with it. It definitely hits the same notes as the first one, and the first one is good. It's like a good grind. It's magic school plus dungeon diving. Dungeon crawl. It's a magic school with dungeon crawling.
Dungeon Crawl, yeah.
And it's really good. There was just like one stupid thing in the first book, and there's a have you read all 4 of them?
Yeah, I have.
There is definitely a part in the second book that's unnecessary. It doesn't bother me a whole lot because it's the author's own world, and so he can, he's not like changing some existing IP to put stuff in. But there's definitely a little bit of wokeness, which pulled it kind of. They have a discussion about like not transgenders, but there's a character that goes by they, but they're not a huge part of the book, so it had a big role. It was frustrating. It didn't break the book for me, and it was still a fun read. But and again, it's his own series, so I'm not going to complain about it too much. But I personally wish it wasn't in the book because it's silly. What's silly is that he could have made it work well. There's a god in this world that is non-binary, and there's followers of that god that are non-binary too, and they call themselves they. And it would make sense if there was some kind of magic system in this world that could let you actually change genders. But because it was pandering to that ideology, they're like, no, and they even explained it. They're like lecturing the guys, like, oh no, they don't actually change genders. They just think that they're different, so they go by they. Pulled me out of the book, but it didn't last super long, and the rest of the book was pretty good.
Weird.
So a little bit woke.
It's an interesting sort of series. It's kind of like it's got a lot of like young adult fiction vibe. So there's a lot of that where like I'll read it and I'll be like, okay, that was kind of nonsensical, but that's okay.
But when it gets into the fighting and the magic school stuff, like it's a good pulp.
Yeah,
it was fun. I'm enjoying it. So I'm getting book 3 soon. So
good.
We'll see you guys next week where we talk about movies, and I'll probably see you sometime during the week talking about Dune. I've kind of taken a break this month because I'm focusing on music and also
nice.
But we'll see. Anything else?
Please.
Anything else, everybody?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Ay.
Everybody pray for Puebla. Everybody. Ponte Lade Puebla.
Yeah. It looks like Silent Hill right here, bro. It's looking like Silent Hill, a little bit more every time.
Yeah. Well,
crazy.
I did break down and got Tears of the Kingdom because Elliot really wanted to play it. So, I was fine not playing it. I was fine not playing it because I'm not going to have time to play it for a couple months.
It's so good.
I haven't even finished Hogwarts Legacy. But we went over to David's house and they had it. And so Elliot saw his cousins playing it. So we got it. But it does look fun. Anyway,
It is very
see
fun.
you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for
See you
choosing
guys.
us for your Sunday
Gonna give
night.
you any updates if I get a volcanic
Entertainment.
eruption. That'd be fun. Live.
Hopefully,
Live in the eruption.
hopefully you guys have some good options of movies to watch after tonight's stream, and you'll have more next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna download actually one of a lot of those movies.
Just
if
for
I can get,
comparison,
yeah.
We've recommended a lot of great movies tonight, and if you want to compare it to what Hollywood is offering right now, I believe this week in the theaters you can watch Fast X. So there's that.
Yeah, and apparently they bring someone back from the dead, and so now we're getting into Dragon Ball levels of stupid.
You know, you can watch some good movies, or you can watch the 10th Fast and the Furious movie. It's your choice. See you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Or the Mario movie is still in theaters. You can go watch that too.
Yeah, that's still wonderful.
Even though it's also it's on digital this week, which is weird.
For real,
really
but it's like
$20
bucks. Yeah,
they're still gonna
the
make,
movies.
they're gonna make lots of money. This movie's making a bunch of money. Bye. We'll see you guys next week. Be safe and be smart. Bye.
And now it is time to say goodbye.
We had a great conversation.
It's been fun. But all good things must come to an end, and the goodest ending I can think of is...
Right now, this moment, this night.
So I guess we just say goodbye.
So, goodbye.
Toodaloo. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Ding dao day. But come back next week for more outrageous bloopers.
This is the end.
Well, there's only one thing left to do.
I'm gonna go home and sleep with my wife.